apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You are tuning to the Apartment 5B podcast, hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad with me in effect as always. Starting off with my little sis Porsche. What's good?
All is well, Kill. How are you?
Everything is dope. My brother Burn out the ATL. What's going on, good brother?
What up, good people? Glad to be here. Let's rock and roll.
You up here flashing gang signs, man? What?
That's the A-Town down, man. Come on.
All right, my bad. I'm just checking, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. They may got you out there, man. They got initiated or something. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Atlanta, y'all wild out there, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are wild.
Go to the house, got you hanging out. Next thing I know, you a damn crib out here. Vegas in Vegas. What's going on, good brother?
Chilling, man. I got rap snacks. I'm gonna just say it for the camera. This shit's disgusting. But rest in peace, Big Papa.
Eat biggie snacks in Vegas. JR, what's going on, good brother? What's good with you?
What's going on? It's excited to be back. We're gone for 2 weeks, but we back in effect, yo. Let's do this.
All right, you already know me. Let's get right to it. I don't even know how this topic came to me. Probably again, timeline conversations. I gotta give a shout out to my timeline because this week we had an actual good discussion on Jay-Z versus Busta and who's the better MC. And it was actually a good discussion. I didn't feel like it was any disrespect. I didn't mind it going on for 2 days. You know, people were like, oh, I never thought about that. So I want to salute my timeline for that because that was the first real mature discussion, what I felt like. And that's what a hip-hop discussion is supposed to be about. Thing like that. I also came to the epiphany that the reason why my timeline is always in fucking a shit show is because someone asks me a question and then I answer the question and that starts the shit show. Because people always like, Kill, you're starting all this shit. You're sparking all this stuff. And I'm like, bro, I just answer the questions that I'm asked. Someone asked me, who's a better lyricist, West Side Gun or Side High? And I'm just like, hey, I just answer the questions. You know, people are like, who the West? I just answer the questions. And again, those questions will open the door to everything else. Because, you know, all right, neither here nor there. This week, we are chopping up about simple. If you could ask anybody in the music industry, hip hop, R&B, MC, group, producer, executive, you could ask them one question and they had to give you the truthful answer, like 100% truthful. What would those questions be? And I'm talking dead, alive, anybody. You can ask anybody any question that you could get the answer to. What would those questions be? Who would that person be? Porsche, why don't you set us off tonight? Who is the first person and what is the question that you would ask them?
Okay, I know you're gonna make fun of me for bringing this up, but I'm
sure it's somebody about love. It's something about love.
The first person I got is DJ Quick. And you know I'm gonna
This goes back to what I said 2 episodes ago. Yeah. That you could ask Porsche, who would you want on your all-females gymnastic fucking Olympic team? And I guarantee you DJ Quick and Tupac are gonna be on the female Olympic gymnastic team. So again, boom.
Okay. So for me,
is it a hair question? I know you complain about your hair a lot.
It's not a hair question.
It's not about a perm. Okay, cool.
No, it's not about a perm. I love DJ Quick's hair though, just for the record. I've always loved it. I love everything he does with it. I love his face. So let's be clear.
Can we just connect you? Can we just get you? Let me tweet at Quick right now. Like, yo, my little sister is crushing on you, bro.
So my question for DJ Quick would be, what do you think you could have done differently in the early days of your career to avoid being underrated or slept on later on, kind of thing. And the reason
I'm not mad at that question at all, of course.
And the reason I actually thought of that was because of our Apartment 5B conversation, where we were talking about, you know, when that whole thing happened where DJ Quick tweeted out that, you know, I should have been named alongside Dr. Dre, and we talked about, you know, on Apartment 5B, shortly after that comment or that tweet, we talked about it, and we were like, you know, can we see that? Like, what could have happened? And we kind of, you know, passed around some opinions. And I'd like to know what DJ Quick thinks. Like, what does he think, kind of knowing now, like now knowing what he knows now, what he could have applied back then to avoid this underrated, slept on thing? Because like I always say, DJ Quick's got it. And for me and for people who are super West Coast, and obviously, you know, it's a coastal thing, they revere DJ Quick. It's just Hip Hop Nation doesn't, as much as I personally think he should be revered, you know?
All right, let's say this, because I don't want to start an East Coast, West Coast war. I don't know if everybody in the West Coast loves Quick as much as y'all.
Okay, fine.
And I don't think everybody on the East Coast doesn't love Quick.
Correct.
As much as
absolutely.
as most people
I do
would say.
generalize very loosely, so viewers, please don't come at me. I know it's very loosely what I'm saying, but DJ Quick is very well liked on the West Coast. He really is, and he's always been, in my experience. And I spent a lot of time in California growing up, so yeah, that's my question to Quick.
Now, you tell me this: what do you think he could have done more? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I think DJ Quick could have partnered with other MCs and given some of his best production to those other MCs that would have had kind of a catapult into sort of, I don't want to say radio per se, but would have had bigger sort of success on the commercial side than he did throughout his career. That's what I think he could have done. But I don't know. Again, I would love to know what Quick says about that.
Right. I think I think that's it. I think especially when you're talking about the 90s, the bulk of the producers that we talk about was their production for outside people. As much as we love Gangstar, you know, I think Premier, Pete, a lot of their work of those remixes they were doing, the production for other people, you know, things like that. So I definitely think if Quick would have been able to like produce a whole full album, you know what I mean? Like even when we think about Large Professor, you know, you talk about your favorite joints is usually like, oh, the Organized Confusion Stress remix, or the Nas's Ain't Hard to Tell. So I think a lot of the 90s was producing for other people too. So I definitely think that would have helped. Vern, JR, Vague, anything on what you think Vague, would have helped Quick have a better resume, or would get more love, I guess, in the streets from the East Coast?
I think Portia said it. You know, he unfortunately, you know, his production is recognizable to those that can recognize it. He didn't work with enough people to kind of like, okay, well, if I do know DJ Quick, but I know him for this thing, it's a West Coast thing. But finding out like, oh, you know, Quick did this AZ record or whatever, it just would expand his audience. And, you know, that brings them to your music, that brings them to your production, and then people remember what they like. And, you know, he probably could have did better at that, because Dre did that, right? He kind of had the West Coast on lock early on, and then he said, I'm gonna go work with Nas, because I always wanted to work with Nas. And all that did was extend his reach and his legend as a producer, even though, you know, I didn't really like Nas's coming, but it was Dre and Nas, so.
Right. And then I think too, just having that, like what Dre is known for is breaking artists. You know what I mean? So I remember the complaint when I heard Compton, a lot of people were like, but he didn't introduce us to the next Snoop or the next M, or like he gave us Anderson .Paak. I don't know too many people who knew who Anderson .Paak was before Compton. You know what I mean? So I also think that that's the thing with Dre. Like it was like, okay, he gave you DOC, he gave you Snoop, he gave you Eminem, he kind of gave you Game, Kendrick, and all that. But again, I'm with you, Porsche. I would love to know what Quick thinks he could have done better. The first joint I got up is for Big Boy, one of my favorite MCs. And my question to him would be, how pissed are you that $3,000 has cost you millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars? How pissed off are you? You know, because he always he always a smooth dude. He, you know, always bigs up 3,000. I don't think there's ever been any type of anything negative said about him. But I've heard stories of like Milk wanted to do something with Outkast and not the MC, but actual Milk, the company. And, you know, 3,000 like, I don't drink milk. And it's like, but nigga, this is, you know, or like when So Fresh and So Clean was out, I think it was like a detergent company wanted to do something with them and Dre didn't want to do with it. Dre didn't want to go on tour. And it's like, nigga, you are costing us millions and millions and millions of dollars. So I would just love for, you know, Big Boy to just be able to be like, y'all fucking hate that nigga deep down inside. Like, well, you know, I keep a running tab with that nigga. Like, that nigga owes me $8,438,000. You know, like, I got a running tab with this nigga. Like, I would love to just hear that off the record. I'm sure they're still boys. I'm sure there's love for each other. But at the end of the day, nigga, I got kids and fucking ex-wives and alimony and shit to pay. So, you know, is that. Burn, who do you got up first and what is your question?
Hey, Mr. Wycliffe, Mrs. Lauren Hill. Did y'all really believe that the stuff Pros was putting on recording was dope? I mean,
here's the worst part. I thought you was going to talk about the love affair. I didn't know.
I don't care.
Kill. I knew.
I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. No. I mean, did he have some blackmail photos of y'all with your family duct taped in an abandoned building, and the only way they could be free is that he got to record those verses on y'all records? I just want to know, man. You know, talk to me.
This nigga.
Bill,
yo,
I told you with this topic it was going to be comedy.
Yeah, I mean,
it more. Yeah,
it is. I would love to know. I think it's one of those things, man. Just like we always talk about. Back in the day, it was just like your friends are in your group. Like we all friends. You know, if all five of us are a rap group and I'm the weak link, it's like, come on, we can't not let Kill in the group. Like, we gotta let Kill in the group. You know, and y'all be coaching me along the way. Like, well, no, Kill, try and say it like this, and try and say it like that. You know, try it this way, try it that way. But you know, I think that was a beautiful thing about the innocence of hip hop back in the 80s and the 90s was it was friendships. So, you know, you can't kick somebody. I mean, you can, but you probably wouldn't want to kick your best friend out the group just because he's not as nice as you are.
And the funny thing, I've heard him and let him tell it, like, he's the reason that you know, they got put out and stuff. Like, all right, but that's the question that I would ask for Lauren and Wycliffe.
I would love to hear that answer.
Yeah, I would too.
That would be, and that would be an amazing 100% truth.
Yeah.
Like, yo, we know the nigga whack, but like, he's my cousin's little brother. What the fuck I'm gonna do? Like, I'm gonna come around Thanksgiving dinner and see my auntie, and I done kick this nigga out the group because he can't rap. But I will say this: Prize does have one of my favorite lines that I quote all the time. Too many MCs, not enough mics. Now, I know that's it.
You should have done that. Rhyme.
Right, but that is the one, you know, prize line I will quote all the time. Who are one of the MCs and who are one of the people? And what is your first question?
So one of the people I have is Das Effects, and I would want to ask them why did they feel the need to abandon the Iggity just because others were using it when in hip hop we all know who the originators were. No one did it better than them. I think it kind of, you know, it put a stop to their trajectory. Like we always say, Kill, that straight suicide joint is dope, but people were used to what they got on Dead Serious, and when they went on like a campaign to say like, oh well, that the Iggy's dead because everybody happy in it. They killed what. Until they brought it back, but I think it was too late by then. So I would just want to know, was it really necessary to go that hard about it? instead of embracing it as something you brought to the game. So.
It's a good question. Do you think if they would have stuck with oh, I'm sorry, bro. You go.
Now, ask yours, and then I want to add on to the DOS effects.
I was going to say, Beck, do you think if they would have kept with the Iggity that it would have helped, even though everybody else was doing it too?
Yeah, because I think, and obviously, difficult for me to say this, right? Because I'm just looking at my little world and the people I know around me and how they feel. But to me, it felt like, well, that's why we were interested in y'all. That was a part of the thing, you know?
Right.
And it was unique to y'all. So when Crisscross did it, I didn't look at, when DOS Effects was coming out after Crisscross and everybody had already done it, I wasn't going to look at it like, I don't want to hit no more Iggity. I was like, yeah, finally a follow-up. But then when they was just saying, yeah, we're not doing that no more, it was kind of like, well, who are you now?
Oh, okay.
You know?
I see what you're saying.
You know,
makes sense.
without it, even though they're dope MCs, without it, they didn't need it. But I think they killed a marketing tool for themselves that was unique to them. And their voices, because when you heard the Iggity come from other rappers, it was like they're doing it. But when they do it, it's different. You know what I'm saying?
I do. And you bring up a good point that then they brought it back on the third album. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, you know, they almost saw the mistake in it themselves and was like, all right, you know, let's bring it back. What are you going to say, Vern?
This week I learned something that I never knew.
I know where you're going, man.
Yeah,
I already
man.
know where you're going.
Vague, JR, I don't know if y'all knew this, man, but DOS Effects fathered Outkast style based on somebody I saw on Twitter this week who said, he said, and I got receipts. So me and several other people were like, show the class, please. He pulled out an article where 3000 said hieroglyphics, Tribe, and DOS Effects was an influence on him.
Wow.
He was like, that's the receipts. I'm like, bruh, that's your paternity test? And then I woke up the next morning and he said something else. He said something. He's like, yeah, he's the father. I'm like, dog. Okay. But yeah, that was just very interesting. I never knew that.
That's a strong word to say. That was his receipt?
Yeah, that was
But again, what I like to explain to people is before I even do this, go to the profile page. I think Paul had like 7 followers. I'm not discrediting anybody with 7 followers. I'm just saying that I just, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna take what you're saying serious.
If you've been on the Twitter for more than 2 days and you only got 7 followers, that says something about you. And then my man finally did some research, and I think the dude was a producer or something, integral part of DOS. I'm like, all right, man. I was like, all right, little Tink, go ahead on, man. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, we all in the mall at the same time, man. We gotta stop having conversations with the children. JR, what's going on, good brother? Who you got up?
Well, you know, all mine gonna be R&B, yo. Some gonna be dead, some gonna be alive. But I'm gonna start with Marvin. I would love to ask him if he was living. Who was your favorite producer in the 60s? I would have wanted, because Marvin is the only one that was able to work with every producer at Motown and get a hit.
Well, for us mere mortals, can you tell us some of the producers he worked with?
Okay, I'm sorry. So he worked with Holla Doja Holland. He worked with Smokey. He worked with, Norman Whitfield. He worked with Ivy Jo Hunter. He worked with Ashford and Simpson. He worked with Frank Wilson. He worked with all of those before in the 70s where he produced his own shit. And I would love to ask him, like, which one of these was your favorite to work with? Because I'm like, you gotta have a favorite that you enjoyed to work with. Or was it just pushed to you like, oh, work with them? You know what I mean? So I would always would have wanted to ask him who was his favorite in the 60s, because the 60s Marvin is my favorite. So I would love to ask him who was his favorite producer out of them.
Well, tell me this: who is your favorite producer that he worked with?
I would wanted him to say Holla Doja Holla, of course, but I think what he would say would probably be William Stevenson, because he let him write. Everybody else didn't. They didn't let him write. And Marvin was the type that he needed to be part of the process. You know what I mean? To give. So I would think William, but he might be throwing me off and be like, no, it wasn't them either. You know what I mean? So.
And what are some of the songs? What are some of the songs that he did with Williams?
He did Pride and Joy. He did Hitchhike. He did Stubborn Kind of Fella. Who else did he do? Those, like the beginning of him when he started hitting, from like 62 to 64 is when he really was working with him, and he was able to write, because he also wrote Dancing in the Street with William Stevenson for the Martha Reed and the Vandellas as well. So
Marvin wrote that?
Yes.
Okay.
He co-wrote that, yes. So I think it would be him, but who knows? You know what I mean? Marvin was just an artist, so he might have loved working with all of them, but I would always wanted to ask him that.
All right, no doubt. That's just one example of how I always tell folk you cannot watch episode of Apartment 5B and not learn something. This is the freaking, I don't even know what year JR is in right now. He may be in his time machine. He could be in 1964 right now. Porsche. Who you got up next?
I got Pastanus and Maceo from De La, and I do want to shout out you guys. I wasn't on the show, but you guys did such a good job saluting De La Soul, and you know, rest in peace to Dave, definitely. But what I would want to ask Pastanus and Maceo is, why do they think that hip hop groups and duos like split and broke up? Like barely any of them were able to kind of stay together. And what do they think was missing? And what advice would they give groups at the time, or you know, like if they could go back? What advice would they give, or to up and coming groups or duos to stay together? I've had so many conversations about this, about De La Soul, because to me, they're one of the only groups, and I think they're the only group that kept this camaraderie, this respect, this love, this brotherhood all throughout their entire career. And they were faced with more issues, I think, and things that would have torn anybody apart more so than anybody else. And they were able to overcome that. So I would like to know, like, what is it? What kind of secret magic do you guys have? You know? Yeah.
Right.
You know, he just did, they did the interview with Sway.
I saw that today. I need to go peep it.
Yes, and at the end of it, they was like, yo, we want to give love to the Locks. Because he was like, they remind him of us, because they was like, yo, stay together because this industry will break you. And he was like, and Maceo was like, please, y'all, stick together, love on one another. Like it was very heartfelt the way he was giving love to the Locks, because he was like, everybody broke up. You know what I mean? But they didn't. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, keep all the drama inside y'all. Don't let nobody know about it. It's y'all, you know what I mean? So yeah, so for you bring that up, because I'm like you, Vern. I just saw the interview a couple of days ago, so yeah.
Meg, you gonna say something?
No, I was gonna bring up the Locks because recently, like the hip hop media sites have been celebrating the Locks for that very thing, but they didn't mention De La Soul, who did it longer, much longer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's because the convicts are running the asylum. The children are running the media right now, so they can't even do that. JR, I think the point that I like that you brought up, or Mace brought up, was love on each other. Here's the problem, y'all. If we keeping it a buck, we don't know how to love on each other. You come up in the neighborhoods we come up in, we're not taught. It's not a natural thing to just love on one another, or to because trust and believe. It's like, don't think De La didn't have arguments, didn't have fights, didn't probably have physical fights. You know,
they had fist fights. Yeah.
Right, but it's one of the points where you have to learn to forgive. How do you learn how to forgive? And again, this is my 15 years of doing marriage coaching, because marriage coaching ain't shit but friend coaching. That's all it is. You know what I mean? The same people who have problems with their friends. So I think that that's the problem, is that a lot of people don't know how to love each other. A lot of people don't know how to ask for forgiveness. A lot of people don't know how to forgive. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's like, I think those two groups probably just have the right 3 personalities within them to be able to survive. Because for us to look back on so many years of hip hop, I don't want to say 50 because I don't know all the groups from the 70s like that, but to say the Lox and De La are the only 2 hip hop groups that like are still together is like, god damn. Well, obviously something's wrong. You know what I mean? So I think that that's the bigger issue. Is just people just don't know how to love on each other. People don't know how to have conversations. Hey, Porsche, Drake wants to pay me $50 million for apartment 5B, but you hate Drake. You know, like, how we gonna work this out?
Hey, Pete, you just gonna have to take that one for the team, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm throwing Porsche 25 mil under the table or something. You know?
No hard feelings. You guys get that bag, and I'm rooting for it. I'm not part of it.
But seriously, all jokes aside, that situation, Porsche could feel the exact opposite. Fuck that. We apartment 5B. Yo, we ride together, we die together. Like, you know what I mean? I could be like, well, no, I can't. I'm not gonna take the bag, Drake. And Naomi's looking at me like, nigga, we got college to pay for and grad. So again, but if you can't have those conversations, then what happens is people just take the bag. Nobody tells Porsche. She feels left out. So again, it's like, but these are all things that people think come naturally. But truth be told, if we look around some of our own circles, we've all probably dropped the bag in some of our friendships. You know what I mean? And may have been able to pick them back up, may have not been able to pick them back up. But what happened?
I said, you got a point there.
I mean, we all, I know I have. Shit, I know I have. Especially growing up in Philly. Prior to Morgan, I fucked up a lot of friendships. So all that to just say, like, I definitely salute De La and the Lox, and I love what Mace was saying, but that love on one another, we got to teach folk how to love on one another, because it's not as easy as it sounds. What was that? P, you went because you did De La. Okay, I'm next. I'm gonna go with, I got Jay-Z, and I want to ask Jay, why did The Rock break up, and what part did you play? We always hear about Dame. We always hear about, oh, he came back from vacation and Dame made Cam the president and that was it. But in all marriages and all divorces and all breakups, you played a part. Now, whether you played the bigger part or the smaller part or whatever, but I would love to get the honest to God answer from Jay to say, you know what? I did do Dame wrong. You know, I did tell Damon Biggs this, and then I did that, or you know, I did do this and I didn't do that, and I said I would and I didn't, or I really want to know what part did he play, because we've all heard what Dame has done. You know what I mean? Whether it came out of Jay's mouth or whether it was from, you know, I was watching Young Chris and Free was on Matt Hoffa. You know, just from everybody around, I've heard what supposedly happened, but I've never heard anybody talk about what Jay did. You know. So, and again, I just think that's out of fear of just being blackballed, and you don't want to get on Jay-Z's bad side because, you know, when there is time for a Rock Nation reunion, he ain't gonna call your ass. So, yeah, I would definitely love to know. And you know, niggas love going to that Rock Nation that brunch. Oh man, oh, man, that's it right there. I think people would, if you said Heaven Rock Nation brunch, it'd be a lot of people that'd be like, I think I can fuck with Heat now. I want that Rock Nation brunch.
Wow.
You know, you definitely want to stay on Jay-Z's good side. So Vern, what you got up next, bro?
I'm gonna ask Brother Jay from X Clan. Did you ever want to just rap about your skills, about, you know, how fly you were, or about getting at some honeys, you know, or driving a fly whip, instead of always having to be the pro-black nationalist, you know, power to the people MC? Because I think had you done that, you'd be more known, more beloved. I mean, because a dope MC that nobody talks about because it was just vainglorious, black, you know, red, black, green, red, black, green. So I would just be curious to know if he ever wanted to branch out from that vein and just rap.
Good question. Definitely a good question, man. I always thought like the hard part with Brother Jay is like how I always say, there's only room for one. And that one at that time was just Chuck D. It was like Chuck D and the rest of them. You know what I mean? So, and like you said, I love X Clan, love both of those first 2 albums, you know, Brother Jay, incredible MC. But yeah, I definitely agree, like, you know, could you just let loose and just, you know, rap about, let your hair down, man. Just, you know, be a normal dude, you know. Vague, what's up with you, bro? Who you got up next?
Brother Jay would say, I am normal, brother.
Oh, man, Vague in Vegas, man. That's a show in itself right there.
Vegas in Vegas. Oh, well.
You frozen, bro.
Why you still in big shit? Oh, my bad. Am I good now?
Yeah, you good.
I would say to Mr. Just Blaze, why are you still in Bink shit?
Yeah.
Just tell the truth, man. Just say, yo, he had an influence on me. I wanted to make beats like that. A couple of my beats resemble that. I'm my own man, striving to carve my own lane. But yeah, around that time, you know, I was inspired by what these guys were making, and so a lot of my sound mirrored what they did.
Right.
But why you stealing shit? That's my answer. Why you stealing shit, son? Why you stealing shit?
Yo, it's funny. It's funny because from Bink being on Writer's Bench, from me being in the studio with Bink, to this Math Hoffa thing that's going around, I'm with you, bro. I never understand why cats. But you know what? It's something that Bink said on Math Hoffa. Integrity. You know what I mean? I think, like, one thing I tell about people is like Slim Charles sold Avon. If it's a lie, then we fight on that lie. You know what I mean? And that's just what we go by. So I think like just ran with, you know, I ain't bite shit, and I guess 20 years later he ain't trying to admit it now. You know, because again, when Just first came in the game, he sounded like Swiss. You know what I mean? And Bink was talking about how Young Guru was saying how, like, yo, this dude he's a chameleon. He can sound like anybody. You know what I mean? You want a beat to sound like this person? Get him. You know what I mean? And I listened to what's the joint, the J album with 1-900 Hustler on? That's the
Dynasty.
Dynasty. I didn't listen to the Dynasty until after Blueprint, because I kind of checked out of Jay-Z, so I didn't hear that album. And then I heard the Blueprint. Now I said, okay, let me go back. And when I heard 1-900 Hustler, first thing I said was, yo, Just Blaze killed this shit. You know what I mean? And my man Mills was like, nah, Just ain't do that. Bink did that. You know what I mean? And yeah, Just Bink's whole style. And I was like, oh, snap. You know what I mean? So again, Veg, I'm 100% with you. I don't know why, because it's just so easy to say. Like, yeah, you know, I was influenced by him. Now, I don't know if it's the ego of, you know how I could say I was influenced by Premier because he's the OG, whereas Bink Bink was ahead of Just, but, you know, maybe Just is looking at it like, yo, we're equal, so I can say I'm influenced by Preem, and that doesn't sound like I'm biting Preem because he's the OG. But if me and JR start making beats at the same time, it doesn't come out right for me to say I'm influenced by somebody who's like in the same grade as me. Like, it's cool for me to say as a 9th grader, I look up to Vern because he's in 12th grade. It's kind of weird to say I'm in 9th grade and I look up to JR and he's in 9th grade with me too. Again, it should happen, but I think it may just be hard. What were you going to say, Veg?
Well, I was going to say, but you can, right? Because someone can have more knowledge about something and be in the same grade. Yeah. So he might have been, like, Just Blaze might have been looking at producing one way, and Bink was just more advanced than him, and he saw that and was like, oh, well, you know, I admire it. And plus, you know, just really quick with the whole chameleon shit, because I could hear hip hop Twitter getting ready to say something. Dilla did that. He was a chameleon, but he had his own style.
Right.
That's where that chameleon shit makes you big, because it's like, yo, he could do everybody's style, and he got his own. This dude was kind of floating from style to style, and to me, him being so absent after a while suggests that he ain't really have nothing else to contribute. Obviously, he's a producer and he can still produce, but you would have never thought, as big as he was around that time, especially with the Blueprint and all of that, that he would just kind of go dormant when somebody's accusing him of, you know, stealing styles. It's like, well, shit, you look guilty now.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you. I would love to hear Just rebuttal, and prayerfully, you know, I know the boy from the source on Matt Pfeiffer was like, yo, Just pull up. You know what I mean? So I would love to. Bink was funny. He's like, he ain't gonna come.
He ain't gonna come.
That nigga ain't coming.
Hey, Kill, and what he gonna do is rely on that same stuff you talked about before, where, man, you know, I made such and such money on this, you know, whatever, so I don't have to answer. Remember when you I think
that's the go-to.
Yep.
I mean, it's funny. I mean, when me and Just got onto it on Twitter, you know what I mean, and it was me and him going back and forth, and I'm like, nigga, you talk about somebody using the same sample. Yeah, one of your biggest hits, nigga, Buckwild did that shit. You know what I mean, with Jay's PSA. You know what I mean, like, nigga, you have gone behind multiple people. I know you had beef with Walt and them too over that PSA sample. You know what I mean? So again, it's not like niggas don't know your steez, my nigga. You know what I mean? And then like he like sent me a picture of him and Evil D like hugged up, and I'm like, yeah, nigga, that's now, nigga. The receipts already out here with Evil talking about the beef that they had with you and everything like that. So neither here nor there, I'm always down for, you know, hearing, you know, not the downfall of Just, because people are like, damn, you don't like Just. I'm like, it's not that I don't like him, but he does do a lot of beat bite. You know what I mean? Using a sample that's already been used. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's like, that's what our discussion was all about, using the same sample. And I'm like, nigga, I know you ain't fucking talking. You done lost your rabbit ass mind talking about somebody. And y'all know my steez. Niggas will get in my timeline like I was talking about Benny the other day, and Benny jumped in, and I'm like, bro, no disrespect, I like Sci-Hi better. Like, I do. Like, at the end of the day, I just said you, Conway, and Sci-Hi are three of the dopest MCs walking planet Earth. You know, and the only thing you heard was I like Sci-Hi better. You know what I mean? So it's like, again, like, my energy don't change. I'm not gonna be like, oh shit, Benny's in the room. Okay, cool.
No, not at all. Like, no,
I like Sci-Hi better. I think he raps about more topics than y'all rap about. It don't mean that I don't love Benny too. But again, if all of us are producers and somebody says, yo, Kill is one of my top 5 producers walking the planet Earth, but I like Portia's stuff a little bit better, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm just happy to be named. Somebody called me legendary on Twitter this week for my beats. I fucking win. I'm good. I'm cool. Like, so again, it's just, again, my energy don't change. So when Just started talking that wild shit, I was like, nigga, let's battle. Fuck it. Let's go. Like, I was like, yo, get an MC, get a beat. I'll get one of my MCs. I get a beat. Don't put that Just Blaze in the beginning, because I know these nut ass niggas, they gonna say you won the second they hear the beat. You just say, yo, here's 2 producers and 2 new MCs. Put it out there. Put it on these hip-hop sites, and let's see what niggas vote on, and let it win. I said, if I lose, I take the L. Hip-hop wins. It's giving the new MC a platform. It's giving me a platform. But again, it's like it's the dunk contest.
I was just going to say that. It's just like the niggas in the dunk contest. Yep. It's
because if he loses, then that looks bad that Just Blaze, this A-list producer, just lost to a no-name nigga named Kill.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's for the culture. It's like he has something to lose. This is why we don't have John Moran in the dunk contest. This is why we don't have LeBron in the dunk contest, because they're more concerned about their brand and what losing will do to them versus us being from the 80s where Dominique and Jordan went at it. Because that's what the fuck you were supposed to do.
And Dominique got robbed in Chicago.
Yeah. If you supposed to be the best dunker, get your ass out here. I never forget, LeBron wasn't in the dunk contest, but then he was at Bronny's game dunking before Bronny's game to get the crowd hyped. Nigga, if you don't want to dunk here, don't dunk there, my nigga. What's up, babe?
He wouldn't win, because when I watched him in a dunk contest in high school, he was whack. He's better in a game.
The game, yeah.
Right, in a game set.
But he was getting roasted because the other cats was doing all kinds of stuff, and he was just jumping real high and doing power dunks. Yeah, and it was corny, and I think he knew he couldn't do that. You know, he just wasn't going to win to me. So I was just like, stay the fuck out the do them little practice.
I will say I always give Kobe props for getting in the dunk contest, because here's the great part: if LeBron couldn't go left, that nigga could get him a coach to go left. Nigga, if you want to be, you could be in the dunk contest. You could work with some of these young boys. Y'all see Portia's boy be having the Bone Collector teach him how to dribble. Y'all see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Like Drake, that ass be having the Bone Collector teaching him how to dribble.
For real?
I think Hardy,
if you rich, why not? If Drake want to play basketball, sure, get the Bone Collector. I'm either getting the Bone Collector or probably God God to teach me how to dribble. You know what I mean? So
True.
You know, so again, if Brian wanted to be in the dunk contest, trust me, he could get one of these young boys out here and be like, "Yo, show me some styles, my nigga." What Mike do? Mike got a ozone. I mean, turbo to teach him the moonwalk. Ain't nothing wrong with going out and getting some help on his shit.
It's a dunk contest.
Yeah, it's a dunk. It ain't that deep. Right? It ain't that deep. Jay, Rao, what's going on? Happy belated born day, brother. Happy belated
birthday, man.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
No doubt. I sent you the link. I didn't know if you were still partying, so I ain't even expect you to pop in. But you know what I mean? JR, who you got up next, man? Who you got?
Well, I got Stephanie Mills, and I got a question that people should be asking her, not this bullshit that they ask her. Why didn't we get a duet album with her and Teddy Pendergrass?
Okay.
They did 2 songs with each other.
Build a fire.
Which was dope and 2 hearts, an up-tempo and a ballad. Y'all could have gave us a duet album, yo. Like, it was needed. We could have had it. And I'm like, Stephanie, what was y'all thinking? You know what I mean? So I know Gamble and Huff and James and Toomey definitely would have worked together to make that happen. So I'm like, why couldn't we get that?
Now tell me this, JR. This is in 1982?
182, yeah.
81, 82. Were they doing duets albums in 81, 82? Or would this have been something like that? Not that hasn't been done before, but in this decade, was that something that record labels may have been like, that's in the 70s, or like, would it have been like, oh shit?
Because you had Roberta and Peebo Bryson.
They had a whole album?
Yeah, you had Natalie Cole and Peebo had one. So it was like people were doing it. People were doing it, but I think Stephanie and Teddy would have been another level with it. You know what I mean? So
right. What you gonna say, Beck?
Were they on the same label?
Like, yeah.
I'm wondering if it had more to do with things like that.
It could have been because she
was on MCA, right?
Yeah, she was on RCA first.
I know that Secret Woman album. She was on MCA.
She was on 20th Century Fox, and you know he was on Philly International, which was epic. So I don't know. Label politics, maybe. Yeah. Because they let them go on tour with each other. That worked because they toured with each other, but they couldn't do an album together. But I will always want to ask her, if it wasn't label politics, what was it?
Right. That's dope. Dope question. Rel, what you got? What's your first question and who you shouting it out to?
Big Boy from Outkast. I gotta ask him, does he have any resentment towards Andre and his?
This is how Philly gets down, man. That was my that same question.
That was Kim's first question.
Yeah. It's just the Philly in us, man. It's the uptown in us, man.
Yeah. So I mean, expound on because I want to know, like, do you feel like he maybe cost y'all money?
Oh yeah.
With his decisions and. You know, and a lot of just him not being active, you know, as y'all a group, you know what I'm saying? And it affects you, even his decisions affect you, you know what I'm saying? So do you have any resentment towards him about that? That was my question.
My joke was that nigga got a running tab. He like, I love 3,000, but that nigga owes me $8,432.84 right about now. So, you know, and probably by next time you ask me next month, it'll be another 100,000 that we could tack on to that because we just got a email saying somebody want us to perform in Dubai, and he said no. So that's another 500,000 we missing out on. Vay, what you about to say?
I have a question for Outkast.
What's that?
Does that flute have magic in it, Andre 3000? Can you summon a fucking Minotaur with that shit?
A Minotaur.
Or you trying to get a job at the Hogwarts School of Magic?
Yo, I think here's one of the hardest things about being in a group, because I'm just like, bro, I want to know from Big Boy's perspective. But I think the flip of the question is, for 3,000, it's kind of like I was watching this documentary on Bon Jovi, and for people who may not know, I love Bon Jovi. So, you know, John has invested his money. I think he was part of that XFL football league. John has so much shit going on, and he didn't really want a tour, but his brothers in the group needed this tour. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna go out on the tour. But how taxing does that get to you after a while, where, you know, maybe you took care of your money, but everybody else didn't take care of the money. You just want to be home with your family and your wife. You know, we done seen the world 10 times. Like, that shit is exciting probably the first 2 times. I don't know how exciting London is the 80th time, and you really want to be back in Jersey, which and you're missing your daughter's recital, but you feel like you're indebted to your brothers that's in this group. And I think the hard part is you're not thinking about this when you're teenagers and you form this group. You know, You're not probably really thinking, man, this is a lifelong commitment that we are gonna have, you know, or do we get better financial planning so that we're all spending our money right? Or how do we do this? Because it seems like in a lot of these groups, like, there's always one member who doesn't have to be there, like with Escape. Like, I felt like Candy was like, I don't need you fuckers. Like, I'm good. You know, things has been moving. You know, I got my pen game on lock. I'm on this TV show. I really don't need this. And the other girls are like, yo, you know, we don't got nothing else, so we need this. So I think it's hard. I know we're hard on 3,000 because, like, damn, you call some big boy all this money, but at the same token, if your heart isn't in it, you know, like if Portia just really like, yo, I don't want to do 5B anymore. I don't enjoy it. I don't get anything out of it. And I'm like, come on, Portia, we gotta do 5B. You know, we gotta do this world tour. And I mean, if our heart just isn't in it, she just doesn't want to do it. It's kind of like, am I now the bad friend for making her do it or guilting her into doing it? You know what I mean? So it's a hard thing because, again, most of these people are starting out in this group as teenagers. Like Outkast met in high school. These motherfuckers are Naomi's age. You know, they're not thinking 20, 30 years down the line, I still got to be joined at the hip with you to do all these shows, you know, or whatever like that. So I definitely, I'm with you on that, bro. But I think at the same flip, I'm just like, damn, I wonder what 3,000 feels like. Fuck, nigga, I just don't want to rap no more. I don't like it. You know? Like, I remember when it was Hey Ya, and he was like on some award show, and he was like, Hey Ya for the 100th damn time. Let's go. And I'm like, damn, like, this nigga seems sick of Hey Ya, and that shit was probably 2003. You know what I mean? So you fast forward another 20 years, I'm sure the last thing fucking 3,000 could be like, you know what hell would be for me? Having to do the same songs over and over and over and over and over again for the fucking for 4 or 5 months. You know, that would just be hell for me. And then as a friend, how can I ask you to do that? If I'm really your friend and I really love you, like, damn, I gotta ask you to do something that you really don't want to do. What you gonna say, Beck?
No, I was gonna say it's like beats, rhymes, and life. Remember, it was like Q-Tip was kind of doing it for Fife. You know, he wanted to do it, but that one rehearsal scene where it got a little sketchy, and it seemed like Q-Tip is like, "Yo, man, I'm trying to do this for you." Right?
Yeah. So it's definitely rough, man. It's definitely rough because, again, at 16, you're not thinking we gonna be joined at the hip until we 50.
Yeah, man. I feel 3 stacks, man. It's like, man, every Thursday I got to do this 5B podcast, man. It's like, man, for the 1,000th time I got to be on here with Porsche and Kill, man.
Yo, for about 2 seconds, I was like, "Oh, is this nigga breaking up with us?" I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like, is this nigga resignation right now? Like, is this? I'm like, Portia, we getting broken up with right now? Like on live fucking television? Like, is how you want to do us, bro? I just talked to you yesterday,
and the way you laid back
and
with
they said
it,
something about this.
Yo, that nigga burn cold blooded, yo.
Yeah,
I watched the clip. He told you read the line.
Yeah, he told me
read the line of those niggas.
I said, God damn, he said, read the liner notes, nigga. I don't know if I ever heard Vern say the word nigga. I said, I must have really pissed this nigga off. This nigga said nigga twice. Now he quitting the show. God damn, man. I'm telling you, man. But now I feel you. I mean, it's got to be hard. It's got to be hard on both sides. It's got to be hard on both sides. So, you know, I applaud. And one thing I will say is I applaud Big for never saying anything about Andre. So how JR, you was just saying about Mace, keep your stuff between yourselves.
Yeah,
I feel like they've done that because he's as many times as he's asked about 3,000, he could have just broke, you know, on some Will Smith shit. Like, fuck it, I'm tired of y'all asking me this shit. Fuck that nigga 3 stacks. I can't stand it. You know what I mean? And he's never done that. You know, he's always kept it cool. You see 3 Stacks at his son's football game, at Big Boy's son's football games. So, you know, I definitely applaud Big Boy for keeping shit together. Porsche, what you got up next, sis?
I got Amel from Groove Theory. I would love to ask Amel why or what happened that she either solo or as part of Groove Theory, they never collaborated with an MC, even though they were like popping at the time where and I talked about this on my Catch That episode with Elise and JR. If I could ask Amel anything, it would be, why didn't you guys collaborate with any of the MCs? Like 112 was doing it, or Allure, like people were, you know what I mean? Like total linked with, and I know it was, I mean, JR kind of said like, you know, maybe it was a label thing. We talked about maybe it was a label situation, or maybe she was contractually like unable. But I'd like to know for real, like what happened there and why were they just never approached? Was she not interested? Like what happened? So that's one thing I'd like to know.
That's a dope question. Funny story, and it's not even a story. When Porsche, you were talking about when you were saying something about, and I talked about this on I was like, God damn, Porsche got a podcast now too that I don't know about. Vern broke up with us. Now Porsche about to say when I was doing my show, I'm like, don't nobody, I didn't text people. We talk all week and I don't got nothing. I get nothing. Everything live over here now.
Unraveling.
Right, I'm like, right, we breaking up right in front of everybody's faces. Right?
Hey man, we leaders of the new school on MTV.
Okay, cool. The next joint I got up is a Philly question to Steady B. Why the fuck were y'all robbing banks? Like, I mean, I get it that's super fast money. That's quicker than selling drugs. But like, I honestly want to know, like, whose bright idea was that? Like, because from what I've heard is that wasn't their first bank robbery. That they had been robbing banks, you know, before this. So this wasn't like they virgins or something. This their first time. Like they have robbed multiple banks.
This is the first one that got botched. This is the first one that botched, and they wound up. So, you know,
were you doing this? From rumors I've heard, was they were doing this to make music. Was that the thing, or was this just the new? Was this the new occupation? We rob banks to just eat. Not we rob banks to get money to start a record label. We just rob banks to just eat. Again, just where did that come from? Were you and Cool C just sitting fucking outside West Philly and just like, yo, we should rob a bank? And niggas like, you know what? It's a good fucking idea. Let's go rob a bank. Like, I really want to know the story behind that, because again, if I can't speak for anybody else from Philly, Steady B was like what Nas is for Queensbridge. That's what Steady B was for me for Philly. Like, he was the dope MC, wasn't nothing corny about him. He's from the Hilltop, West Philly. And yo, when he robbed that bank, bro, like it was heartbreaking. Like it was like, oh, you know how like you know how you be watching something, you hear there's a shooter, and you be like, I hope that nigga ain't black.
I don't want to be black.
Black. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, there's a bank robbery. Oh, that's crazy. Yo, Steady B and Cool C, like, whoa, what? Like, whoa, like, what are you talking about? Steady B and Cool C. So it was heartbreaking. What are you gonna say, Rob?
It was a Philly tragedy, bro. Like,
yeah,
it was bad. And like how you felt about Steady B, like if you watch Cool C Glamorous Life video, that is the look of a Philly hustler at that time. Like the epitome of it, the haircut, the Alpinas, all that, the sweat, that shit was like, so like those are people as a young boy I looked up to, you know what I'm saying, coming up, you know what I'm saying. And those were the two people that I actually saw in person, you know what I'm saying. And when I heard that, it was like, it was sad, man. Like for people from Philly, we was fucked up over that, because you know what I'm saying, we had looked up to them. But I heard like, you know, stuff, you know, with the changing of how hip hop was, like they were going through some difficult times trying to, you know, make music and get on, like trying to figure out, they tried to change their style. They went and got bald heads and shit like that. It just got I don't know. This is a messed up story, man. This is messed up.
Nah, definitely. And at the end of the day, the first black female, I think, no, the first female cop in Philly history was killed during that bank robbery. Happened to be a black woman. I think she had 2 kids. One of my homeboys wanted to do a documentary on it, and I was like doing the research and trying to write a treatment for it. And I think both of her sons, after she died, both got into a lot of stuff in the streets, and both ended up going to jail, if I'm not mistaken. My biggest thing was if I was part of this documentary, that I was like, I want 30 to 40% of it to be about her, you know, and how it affected her. I don't want to just it be all about Steady being cool. See, like, we got to include her in it too. Vern, what you got up next, good brother?
All right. You're one of the greatest artists, the greatest musicians of all time. And I know I got to pump some truth serum in your vein. Prince, do you regret firing Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis because they snuck out and did some outside production? How did you feel seeing them blow up and just take over the charts when you had them basically as in-house producers? You know, I thank you for firing them, but how do you feel, Prince?
The funny thing is, I feel like Prince would just be with the truth serum, like, fuck him. Like, just Prince is arrogant, you know,
arrogant,
being like, I mean, and maybe not even just arrogant, but it just being like, Prince just seems like, Prince seems like the dude who, he wants everything himself. Like, he's the dude who wants to play every instrument, write every song. So even if you have this great, wonderful in-house production team, it's kind of like, it would take away from you. It would take away from the allure that everything is written, produced, and arranged by Prince. You know what I mean? Like, and, you know, I don't know if he would have wanted that. Like, I don't know, JR, you're the R&B guru. I don't know of a Prince project that's like, hey, co-written by this person, or, you know, co-produced by
Prince
this person.
ain't having it, no.
Right. So, but I'm with you, Vern. I would love it, but I just have a feeling that with the truth serum, without the truth serum, we gonna get the same answer. But,
he would have probably been like, they music is in my DNA anyway. He'd have been like, that's my shit anyway, because he did it at a concert. He played What Have You Done For Me Lately, and he was like, who y'all think inspired this? And then he started singing it.
Man, I heard Jesse Johnson talk about Prince, and it was not in glowing terms. Because
it was not at all.
because of that arrogance. It's like, nigga, you nice, but we nice too. Come on, man. Don't you know? You didn't invent the bass or whatever. But anyway, that's what I would want to ask. I mean, even though I know the answer, and again, I'm thankful that he did fire them. But and they are too, because they wasn't getting paid. They was getting paid like pocket lint from Prince. But yeah, that's my question.
All right, no doubt. Vague, what you got up next, bro?
All right, Rakim, where are you finding all that brown to wear, bro? You got a brown hat on, your jacket brown, your jeans brown. Where the fuck they sell brown jeans? You brown? God damn, you're blending in, motherfucker. You're blending in. That's not my question. That's just a joke.
Hey,
but I know y'all seen them brown outfits. Like, yo, you have on all brown. Like, the jeans is shit that buzzing though. Like, where you get from though? Like, no, but seriously, my question for Rakim would be, how do you see the evolution of the MC today? Because when you think about what he's credited for, and when you read his book, right? We reviewed the book on your podcast, Kill. You could tell this man is focused when he's creating, right? Like, I only come outside to absorb the world, and then I go back in my dungeon and I work. Even the way he would write his lyrics, like when you look at his rap sheet, or his rhyme book or whatever, you know, it's unlike any other rapper I've ever seen, because it's almost like a musician's notes. You know what I mean? He got lines and accents, and the words are positioned in ways so he know how to say it when it's in between these two lines and when there's a space. So, you know, for some, he's real technical. So I'm not talking about, you know, like trap rappers and stuff like that, but just to see where the game has evolved, like somebody like a Kendrick, whose rhyming style is really unconventional. Like, does he see that as a good thing, you know, for hip hop to evolve, or does he feel like, you know, there's a certain pocket and, you know, that's not to say that that's not hip hop, but maybe it's tough for him to see where he started and where it is now, like how it got there. So I'd be curious to know what he thought about MC's techniques today.
That's a dope question. My favorite part of this show is every time somebody says their question in their person, I think I know what y'all are gonna ask, and then it's always totally something different. That's what I love about this. I'm like, I knew Portia's gonna ask why the group theory break up or what, and I love that it never goes where my mind goes. That's why I love my team, because y'all come with different shit than I would. JR, what you got up next to, brother?
I would have wanted to ask Curtis Mayfield this question: who was the hardest soundtrack to do? Claudine, Sparkle, or Let's Do It Again?
Or what about Superfly?
No, I'm talking about as far as the women.
Oh, the women. Oh, okay.
Okay. Who was the hardest to work with? I think the easiest one would have been Gladys, but between Mavis and Aretha, I would be like, who was the hardest to work with?
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying? Because Mavis is doing an album that's not gospel. So you got to deal with that. And then Aretha is just Aretha. She's
Aretha.
So,
all right, can you give a little background again? 1942. Could you give a little background on Mavis Staples, who she is? Like, she's a gospel artist, and this is her first time going into R&B or to soul.
Well, technically, all of her stuff was in a way, but it's like, I'll take you there and respect yourself and all that, and I'll come go with me and all that stuff. It's R&B, but it has the inspirational stuff. You go into this, Let's Do It Again. I'm like, this is a little. You got a song called After Sex on the album, and like, it's weird. So I wonder how he had to deal with that with them. And then Pops, they said he wasn't nothing to play with. So I wanted to know if there was arguments in the studio with him and all that. So I would want to know who was the hardest to work with. That's which soundtrack was the hardest to do. That's what I want to ask.
It's a dope question. Rel, what you got up next?
Let's see. I have Havoc from Mobb Deep. And my question for him is, did he ever feel a certain way about being brought into beefs because of Prodigy? A lot of the beef were directly mainly to Prodigy, but they're a group, so they kind of took it on together. Did he ever feel like, you know what, this one ain't even, I ain't feeling this one, you know what I'm saying? Like, did he ever feel like tired of it, or he just didn't want to beef with this person, you know what I'm saying, or go back and forth with this person? So I would ask him, like, it was ever a time where he was just like, yo, I ain't really feeling this, you know what I'm saying? But you gonna ride for your mans, but maybe behind closed doors, like, yo, I ain't really, like, you wildin', you know what I'm saying?
Right. Question: why were all the beefs shot at Prodigy? Because it's not like Havoc is like Premier and he don't rhyme, he just make the beats. Havoc is talking just as much shit as Prodigy is talking. So like the Saigon beef or the Keith Murray beef, like, you're right, it's always towards Pete, but I'm like, is something specific that Pete said? Is it something like, why is would you say, Portia?
Tupac, even up, he kind of called out Prodigy over Havoc.
The sickle cell thing, like, he directly the sickle cell thing to Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? He said fuck Mobb Deep, but he was like, no one of y'all niggas got sickle cell or something like. And then Jay putting on the screen, he put Prodigy on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Saigon's beat. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was saying, I'm coming back. I think the thing that maybe with Pac, and again, I don't know, but maybe it's just, I know that's the weak link. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to diss Apartment 5B and you know I got scoliosis, it's just easier to pick on You like, I know Kill got scoliosis. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm gonna fuck with you. Like maybe if Havoc had, kind of like I think Pusha did that towards 40, because 40, Drake's engineer producer got something.
Yeah.
And Pusha said something about that. You know what I mean? So the other nigga, what's the other producer who used to fuck with Drake? Vague, not his Boy Wonder. Like maybe he didn't say nothing to Boy Wonder because I don't know Boy Wonder got this disease, but I'm gonna say it to you because I know you got the disease. But I know Vague, I know you about to say something.
No, I was gonna say with the I think it was a personality thing because, for example, like with the Saigon beef, Saigon was invited to the show by Havoc, so they didn't really have beef, but Saigon didn't like Prodigy, and I think it was just Prodigy's demeanor, because once he came out of jail and he started doing more interviews and reflected, he was saying like, yo, I was kind of like an asshole. Like if I didn't like, you, there probably wasn't no real reason, and I just showed it in how I talked and how I looked. So cats just didn't like him, whereas Havoc was always kind of cool, and obviously he had his back. I mean, right, eye for an eye. But it seemed like most people generally liked Havoc and not Prodigy, at least at that time.
Nah, that's a good question, bro, because you do got that friend that's like, God damn, we gotta fight again, nigga? Like, can we just go to a party and just fucking enjoy the party? Like, is that legal, nigga? Like, I don't even want to go with you no more, because
we all got that friend.
Yeah, it's like I'm just tired of it. So it's like, bro, can you just chill, please? Like, but then again, if you're a Queensbridge killer, I don't know if you can chill. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta keep it going. Porsche, what you got up next?
Okay, I got a question for Sheik, and I don't mean to like be a shit disturber because we've already discussed that the locks are, like they're tight and they don't have any problems. But
here's the funniest part: you said Sheik, I'm thinking the group Sheik.
Oh no!
Oh shit!
Sorry.
Yeah,
I got a question.
I'm like, okay, what we gonna ask Sheik about? I'm interested. And then you said the locks. I was like, wrong Sheik. Okay, boy, I'm showing my age today.
This guy.
I assume everyone knows Sheik is. Yeah. Anyways, I would, and again, not to be a shit disturber, but I just want to know. I would want to know if Sheik feels like he's overlooked within the locks, and if he does, what does he think that what does he think about? Like, what is the reason for that, or how does he feel about that? Like, does he get the shine? Does he get? Was it like, again? I mean, we've talked about it on Apartment 5B, where Styles and Jada were kind of like, well, Jada mostly was the star, sort of, and all the, he was the spearheading, really the most well-known, most sought after in terms of music, and then same with Styles, and then Styles sort of, he does his own thing, but then Sheik puts out albums, and no one really talks about Sheik's albums ever. You know what I mean? So, yeah, how does he feel about that? That would be my question. And not to start any shit between the locks. I just want to know.
No, I mean,
Sheik mentioned it.
What did he say?
Huh? Oh, he what did he say? He said he kind of gave the diplomatic. I thought I froze for a second. He kind of gave the diplomatic answer in some ways. Well, it seems diplomatic to us because you feel like they're such a unit. They won't let you know if they feel that way. But he was just saying every time Styles and Jada kind of had their thing going, like with the back and forth, a new hit record, and it's just them, he was cheering them on. I think it's easy for him to say that because they always remain loyal to him, right? I'm pretty sure somebody was trying to get them as a separate group, right? And things like that. And they probably always say, yo, we the locks. It's three of us, always. So I think it was easy and not feel some kind of way because they never steered them wrong. So
I think too, and Sheik may have the personality because I really believe for any type of group to really work, you have to have the personality who's okay with being the third best player on the team. You know what I mean? Like I think me and Vague was talking on his podcast about this book 7 Seconds or Less about the Mike D'Antonio years, Phoenix. And the whole book, Sean Marion is complaining about Stoudemire and Nash, and he keeps saying, y'all keep treating me like I'm the third best player on the team. And I'm like, nigga, you are the third fucking best player on the team. Sean Marion, you are not better than Amari Stoudemire. You are not better than Steve Nash. But with that personality, that trio couldn't stay together. You know what I mean? He ended up getting traded to Dallas, and he just ended up disappearing into the abyss. But I feel like you kind of have to have that personality, somebody who is truly, if like they said, if she met, yeah, I'm cheering my people on. Like there's something in me now that I can be honest and say wasn't in me when I was in my 20s. Like I'm now like, yo, what God has for you is for you. I do not want your blessing. I don't.
Yep.
You know, but it took me years to be able to get to that point, to see somebody get a new house or get a new car, get a new job, and for me not to feel like, God damn, when is my time? Like type thing. Whereas now that I'm older and more mature, it's like, yo, I honestly don't want your blessing, because what God got for me, that's what I want. But it's a level of maturity that you have to get to that place. You know what I mean? And prayerfully, you know, you got to have the right personalities to really gel. And I think that's probably going back to De La and the Locks, because I feel like those three just have the right personality to just gel. And then also too, with the Locks, they seem to be very street certified. So if me, JR, and Vern have been getting in the shootouts and getting jumped and beat up, you know, fighting and all that, and we've always had each other's back, it's kind of like, nigga, money ain't that broke. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, I've been broke. We gonna share this anyway, you know. I remember being at Morgan, me and my man Jose, like, I had $10. I was like, bro, we got $10 to eat. Like, we got $10 to eat. Like, whatever we can get, that's what we gonna get. You know, so when you come up like that sharing money, and I get it, $10 versus $10,000 or $100,000, it, you know, the comma changes places, but if you're built a certain way, you won't change.
The concept is the same. Yeah.
Next up, I got Big, and I really have always wanted to ask Big, did you really believe that going to LA was gonna squash this beef?
Bro,
like,
that's one of my questions. God,
see, Uptown again, it's Philly, man. It's just Philly. But yeah, I've always wanted, because you see the interviews, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go out here and squash this beef, and even in the movie, the horrible movie, God, Notorious. I forgot how horrible that movie was.
It was so bad.
I was like, God damn, this shit is horrible. You got losing Isaiah Payne Lil C's. Like, I don't know who casted this, but you got Falcon playing Tupac. I don't even know what's going on right now. But when his mom is like, you know, he's like, I'm gonna be good, we gonna go out here and squash this beef. Like, did Big really believe that? Was he more like, I don't want to go, but Puff was like, nigga, we gotta go promote this album? Like, I just want to know where his mind was going to LA on some shit like that. Rel, what do you want to tag on to that, since that was one of yours?
That was the same thing. Like, in your mind, what were you like? Did you just not care, or were you not aware of the severity of going over there? Like, what was? And mine was two-part, because I had Puff included. Like,
yep.
Why you ain't talking about it? Like, why? Yeah. Like, why were you a part of this too? Like, you knew. Like, I heard a story. They was in the mall and gang members were yelling shit at him and shit. Like, you knew this wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to know both of them thinking about, because for us sitting back, it's just simple logic. Like, I'm not going out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but maybe it's something else. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would like to hear from both of them, their mind state of why they went over there. Like,
yeah.
You know,
I like that Puff piece too. Like, yo, like, why would you do this to your man? Was it just the money? Like, yo, dog, we got this album. We just spent $5 million to make it. I gotta make this money back. We gotta promote this album, Big. Let's go. Like, you know, whatever. And were they deep out there? Like, did they have bodyguards? Like, were they, you know, not just squatted up with Brooklyn niggas with fucking losing Isaiah and Klepto and the rest of Juvenile, you know, fucking, I call them Juvenile. I meant Junior Mafia. You know, like, did y'all, I mean, at least if you gonna send this man around, if I'm gonna send you to LA, I got to at least make sure you got 5 or 6 bodyguards around you, you know, strapped at all times or whatever like that. So I love the Puff aspect to that question too. Yeah. Vern, what you got up next, bro?
Hey, Q-Tip. In hindsight, after hearing, I think the bulk of what hip hop had to say about your cousin being on an album and calling himself Consequence from a Tribe Called Quest. Nigga, please. Do you think maybe you could have like maybe let Jerobi come in and do some verses because he was a part of the tribe? You know, as opposed to Consequence, because that rubbed me the wrong way the first. I'm like, bro, who is this nigga? You know, and I know I ain't the only one, man. I mean, because y'all on my wall. Y'all on my wall. Do you, in hindsight, do you think maybe that wasn't the best choice? I just want to know what you think.
I know from what I read was just that, you know, Phife moved to Atlanta. Like we've all heard, you know, Phife wasn't the easiest to get in the studio. Phife moved to Atlanta. They were beefing, and from what I hear, he basically was ready to replace Phife with Consequence. Like, yo, if you don't want to be in the group or you can't commit to being in the group, I got my little cousin right here, and we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it moving. You know what I mean? I again, this is where the that mindset in the group comes into play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's where question. This is a great question for everybody. So, Tribe Called Quest is from Queens. We've always lived in New York. Phife wants to move to Atlanta, right? Mm-hmm. As a group, now we're not in the Pro Tools era yet. Like, you know, Beatron's Life, I think, came out in 96. Mm-hmm. So that means it was being recorded 94, 95 probably. We're not in the Pro Tools era yet. You kind of got to be here to be in the studio. This is what we do when we record an album. We all come over to Q-Tip's house. This is our thing. And somebody moves to Atlanta. Not moves to Jersey, not moves to Brooklyn, but moves to fucking Atlanta. And Atlanta in 1995 was damn near like moving to LA. You know, it's a whole nother world. Is that okay? We're Tribe Called Quest. Phife is saying he's moving. Are we like, nigga, you can't move? You know what I mean? You should move. Well, when it's time to record the album, you're going to come back and live in New York so we can record the album. It's almost like when a couple gets divorced. Like me and Portia together, we have a kid and we live in Philly. And she's like, well, I'm moving to California with your kid. And it's like, well, wait, you can't take my kid. Like, nigga, you can move, but what about my kid? You know, and I know some women who were going to move and they said, you know what? I can't. Because even though I'm not with the father anymore, I'm going to stay here so he can have a relationship for the child. You know, even though we're not together. I know women who are like, fuck that nigga, we ain't together. I'm taking the kid and I'm moving to LA or wherever I want to move to. So, we're Tribe. Does anybody here have a problem with Phife moving to Atlanta? Even though it's breaking up the dynamic of how we record our albums. Okay?
I do, because his timing was terrible. They coming off their two biggest albums. They're at their peak. And like you said, this ain't the Pro Tools era. So they need to be around each other at this point in time, because they, you know, they're trying to capitalize off this streak down. And him moving and them not being able to resolve it and bringing in Consequence, because I'm with you, Vern. Just bring Jerobi back. Shit, on the last joint, Jerobi sound good than the motherfucker. So I was like,
he did. Yeah.
I was like, shit, why not? We wouldn't even blink, you know, right. Just because it's Jerobi. But yeah, I think it was just Fife's timing, and probably in some ways he did it on purpose because their relationship is so volatile.
Yeah.
He probably did it on purpose.
And keeping in mind, bringing Jerobi back, Phife and Jerobi are best friends. Yep. So Jerobi is gonna probably roll with whatever Phife want to do. You know what I mean? So, sure. JR, you got a problem with Phife moving?
I agree. I was gonna say what Veg said. I do. I think it was just the wrong timing. But again, watching all that and knowing how their relationship worked, Phife probably was being petty and was like, "I'm gonna do it now."
Rel, you good with Phife moving to Atlanta?
No, not after Midnight Marauders.
Okay. And real quick, I'm gonna let you rap, but Portia and Vern, y'all good with Phife moving?
No.
You know what? Y'all really swayed my opinion. Y'all really swayed my opinion. In hindsight, you know, I'm not cool with it, because at first I was gonna say he's a grown man, but whatever. But keep the continuity. Yeah, that wasn't the best move. Yeah,
right. And Portia, you said Fife can't move either, right?
No, because, and the simple answer for me is that moving, you're not there day to day. Like, that chemistry is now broken. Even if you come back for studio sessions or you come back to record your verse, it's not the same. Now you're like a visitor. You're not a live-in,
Right.
if that makes sense. Right? You feel like a visitor rather than part of the unit, like you said. That's
All
why.
right, and bro, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like, the analogy you used was good because it's probably a okay move for him personally, but for the group, it's kind of a selfish move. You know what I'm saying? Based on you guys in a group, you're coming off your biggest albums, you want to follow up on that, and then you move to Atlanta and break the continuity. You know what I'm saying? You, as a grown man, you can do that. Like, we're not saying you can't, but in the dynamic of the group, I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. It wasn't a good move, and it was not. I feel the consequence thing. I feel like I'm not like a Consequence fan, but I feel bad for him. Put him in a bad spot. Can you imagine? Like,
like, nigga, you supposed to replace Fife.
This legendary group, I'm replacing Fife. Like, what?
You basically Johnny Gill trying to replace Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, niggas is looking at you like how Vern described it. That's how niggas like, who is this nigga? Like, Consequence? Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he did horrible, but it just, I don't know, man. Right. It just wasn't. It didn't sit well. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing. At the end of the day, so all 6 of us are going to tell a grown ass man, you can't move. That's not going to sit right 9 times out of 10 with the grown ass nigga who wants to move, because you want to move for a reason. So whether you want to move because you're tired of New York, or you want to move because Atlanta's cheaper, I can get a big ass house instead of living in this little 2-bedroom apartment in Queens. So again, this is where the friction is going to come into play.
I wouldn't tell a grown man they can't move, but I would tell him what's going to happen for the group. Like, I'm not going to tell a grown man, you move, you might have reasons, but I'm telling you, the dynamic of the group is going to change. Especially at that time, it's going to be harder for us to record. And I mean, and I'm gonna play
devil's advocate, nigga. You don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that.
But you do know.
No. And keep in mind, I agree. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm just saying, how are you going to tell me that the dynamic is going to be different and we haven't even tried? And you can say, well, it's because we do this every time it's time to get for an album. We always come over my basement. We do this is our process, and it's like, okay, well, let's try a new process. You know. So again, I agree with everybody, but this is the reason why groups break up, because, you know, if JR is the one like, hey, I want to move to Atlanta, and all 5 of us are ganging up on him, telling him no, or like you said, bro, not that you can't move, but this is what's gonna happen if you move. JR now feels like, oh, now these niggas guilt tripping, so I can't go live my life, you know, because they think that we're not going to be able to make another good album again. So again, this is just like this is the group hoopla. This is the reasons why things don't last. Because if I really hate living in Waldorf, Maryland, and I fucking hate it out here, and the day Naomi graduates, I'm fucking the hell out, and somebody tells me, nope, you got to stay for another 4 years, because it'd be like, oh God, you're killing me. I hate it. You know what I mean? So again, this is why groups don't last, man. But I definitely agree with you, Mark, because R&B Tribe's life, I was like, who the fuck is this? You know, and I will go on to say Consequence got to get much better. He got much better as an MC. I think once he got with Ye, his album ain't that bad either. Like his album Don't Quit Your Day Job isn't a bad album. It's actually pretty good. But I'm with you on that, Vern. Vague, what you got up next?
I got what do I have? RZA. I would ask RZA, does he feel his early work as a producer is his best work? And I would say that
where I thought you was gonna go with the RZA question.
Do you like this nigga portraying you in the show?
No. I thought it was gonna be the flood. You can't say RZA around me and Porsche and not bring up water. Like, it's just the flood. Like, you say RZA, the first thing we think about is Aquaman. So, like, anytime you say RZA, it's like the flood. But what are you saying? His beginning works?
Yeah, because when you think about it, like we talked about it when we did the review, and how, you know, that early production, it's just difficult for him to even match it. Even Wu-Tang Forever production. But I was talking to Ak, and shout out to Ak, and he made a great point of RZA just being burnt out from all those projects, all those beats. When you look at, like, for example, the 8 Diagrams album, where RZA was feeling that production, like he felt like, I'm doing something different, like, you know, it's in a different lane, and nobody else was. I wonder if he's, like, you know, stepping back from it now, looks at that early production and says to himself, you know, that's when I was at my peak with those styles of beats, as opposed to what I'm trying to do now. So yeah, I'd be curious to see what he say. He probably give you some bullshit ass Abbott shit where he's, you know, some sensei shit he'll say, and, you know, like, oh, well, you know, Warrior doesn't really repeat. Like, man, get the fuck out of here with that Warrior shit, nigga. You like the new beats or the old beats?
Quick question, because I don't remember, because it seemed like it was 100 years ago. The verses with Primo and RZA. The bulk of RZA's 20 beats were all the OG ones. It wasn't any of the 8 Diagram stuff, right? Yeah,
I think he just played the Kanye joint. I think that was maybe the only newer track. The, what was it, White Dress, something like that? They did, which was crazy. And Watch the Throne joint. Okay. But
I was just thinking, because that made, like, that nigga knows you in this beat battle, nigga, you better come with your best shit, which wasn't none of the 8 Diagram shit. So that nigga may secretly, really deep down inside know. And I feel you with the Ak piece about just being burnt out, you know, because I used to always not understand that, because I make beats all the time, and I'm like, I'm never burnt out. But the flip is, I've never had label pressure on me. You know, I've never had a label saying, I'm making beats on my leisure. I'm making beats at my time. You know, I've never had a label say, yo, we need 30 beats done in a week, nigga. Like, that's totally different. And you know what I mean? So that burnout and having 2 floods. Like, let me explain something to you. When I'm working on a machine, I'm saving my beats every 8 minutes. Like, because I don't ever want no electrical storm. I'm not recreating a beat. Like, not at all. Like, I need to get the stems for this beat for Amir. I cannot find it. I'm not remaking that shit. Like, I'm just not. I don't know what it is about us producers. We just don't. I can't remake it. The magic that was there when I made it ain't gonna be there with me trying to remake it again. So I'm sure with him losing the first flood, the second flood, being burnt out, watching this Wu-Tang series, you can't find Old Dirty, the people in Electra screaming at you, where's the album? And fucking Deck is mad you ain't making beats for him. It's like, that's a lot of shit. And again, this is the group dynamic. Like, yo, leave me the fuck alone, y'all. Like, damn, it's only one of me. But then this is when niggas go out, fuck around and make immobilarity, and shit starts going downhill. So, JR, what you got up next, bro?
I want to ask, how did Stevie Wonder feel when Barry said he was gonna fire him and he was gonna take him off the label? How did that feel, learning that?
Yeah, God, man, I'm gonna work with you on your teaching skills. Barry who?
Oh, Barry Gordy.
Thank you, JR. Thank you. We're teaching a class now, brother.
You're forgot. I'm forgetting the cameras on. I'm just talking to y'all.
I know. I feel you. I'm trying to work with. We got to get you into your teaching that professor.
You're right. You're right.
Your spirit, good brother. I'm telling everybody out there, JR is going to be teaching soul music at somebody's university. So we're grooming him right now to get ready for the class. That nigga, people like Barry who? Barry White, Barry Goldstein, like Barry who? Who the fuck are you talking about? Barry who?
I meant, what did Stevie Wonder feel when Barry Gordy was going to drop him?
And who's Barry Gordy?
The CEO of Motown.
Okay, there we go. So how did Stevie Wonder feel when the CEO of Motown, Barry Gordy, said he was going to drop him?
Yes. I wonder how he feels about it now.
I want to know both. How did he feel then?
I don't think he knew.
He didn't know.
He didn't know then. He didn't know he was gonna get dropped. I think he found that out later, like in the, like once the 70s happened. I think that's when he found out.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like, Stevie probably was like, "Oh, word, you was gonna fire me, and I'm keeping Motown afloat." Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So people listen to JR talk and think he's talking about like the 90s and 2000s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Like, better history books. Every time he talks about like, no, back then. Because
that's why I'm like, well, tell us some of the producers Marvin worked with, JR. Like I just want to know which producers he loved the most. He worked with all of them. Okay, well, JR, tell us some of the ones who he worked with. You know, remember, JR, for us mere mortals. You know, for us mere mortals, you gotta talk to him. Bro, what you got up next, bro?
All right, so my man JR gonna appreciate this one. So my question is for Donny Hathaway. And the question is, on the song "Someday We Will Always Be Free," what was going on in your life and your mind during the time of making that song? Because for me, that when I listen, I can't really listen to that song like that. It gave me like a not sad, not happy, but just weird feel. Like there's some like pain or something going on in that song. So I just want to know, like, what was going on in his mind and his life during that time of making that song. That song is like, you can hear that shit when you listen to that song. So that was my question.
When you said the song, like, it made me feel some kind of way just thinking about the song. So yeah, you're right about that, bro.
Well, here's a great part, Ralph. JR, by the tone of his face, was probably in the studio with Donnie when he wrote it. So, I'm sure JR could tell us right now what was going on in Donnie's life, good brother, since you were sitting right there next to him.
Well, since we gonna go with that, fine. But he had, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. So he always was trying to deal with that. And that's why he sung with so much conviction, because he was trying to find his way out of it. So he was like, someday he will be free from it. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say this, because we had an episode with Catch That with Brian Alexander Morgan, and Elise really talked about her story dealing with mental health and things like that.
I saw that.
Yeah, and once she did once she found the research of the song, it connected to her because she felt the same way he did. It was like, someday I'm gonna find that light. That light is gonna come to me, and I know it. It's close. And that's what he was feeling, honestly.
And boys and girls and everybody at home, any other questions for any artists from the 60s, please shoot them right towards JR. He probably was writing the songs with them.
I was just going to say, like, you can reach JR at timemachine@gmail.com. Like, you don't even need to ask R&B artists.
We really don't. If it's R&B, like, this is the flux capacitor right there that Doc and Marty needed to get back to the future.
Ask Vern, like, when you said, like, you get a feeling, what feeling is that? Because I can't really describe what it is when I listen to, like,
I mean,
it's like
when you started talking about it, when you started talking, I closed my eyes and I almost like teared up, because it's, oh man, it's like a
Vern, you're cracking, you're breaking up. Try logging off and logging in real quick.
All right.
But yeah, as soon as he comes back, bro, we'll get back to that joint. We'll get back to that. Porsche, what you got up next, miss?
My question would be for Jay-Z. And the question that I would ask is if he thinks that his rap career would have been the same had Biggie not died.
That was one of mine.
Like,
I see you coming for the offering this week.
Because as like just fans of Jay-Z, of Big, of hip hop in general, like, we talk about it amongst ourselves. But I'd like to know, truth serum injected Jay-Z has to answer, and I want to know what he would say, because Yeah, I can imagine what his 2023 response would be, but I would like to know for real, what he would say to that. So.
Nah, that's a dope question. That's a dope question. Vern, you want to answer Rel's question?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you think about the words like hang on to the world as it spins around, just don't let the spin get you down. Like when there are heavy times in my life, I think about that, and it's sad, but then the rejoicing is, and someday take it from me, someday we'll all be free. So, Pa said, man, life can get all of you. Man, you better work it out. And to me, that's the R&B version of Pa's verse. I mean, life gonna happen to all of us, and it's gonna be ups and downs in it, man. But it ends with the song of hope to me. So that's how I feel. I didn't answer your question, Real, but
I answered it.
Yeah.
I answered it.
Yeah.
I can't really describe the feeling I get from that song.
Yeah.
Like, not bad, not good.
Rel, is it pensive?
Is it what?
Pensive. Like in thought?
Yeah, and it's, I don't know.
Here comes 1600 on the SAT. Here comes 1600.
I have a rule. When people can't describe a feeling, 8 times out of 10, it's pensive, and they just don't know the word for it. And it's just deep in thought. Like, it makes you ponder and think rather than feel sad or happy. It's more of a reflective feeling. And that's what I think it is. So that's what I was just to see if that's what it was.
Everybody who is studying for your SAT, you can get at her at Cherche La Porsche on Twitter, or contract readings of any type of iPhone updates, words, feelings you can't put that right word on it. That's who you go to right there. So Time Machine is JR, words, contracts, Porsche. What is your next question, Piggy?
My next one.
She did her on you.
Oh, you did do it. Oh, it's mine. I'm gonna go with Nas. Why didn't you make this album with Primo? Like, dead ass. What is stopping you from making this album? You have been talking about this album since, you've always teetered with it with New York State of Mind Part 2 and Nas Is Like and Second Childhood. Y'all was on the cover of Scratch magazine like back in 2001 saying that the album was happening. Then it was I gotta get off my deal with Def Jam. Then the album is gonna happen. I remember reading in an interview when y'all was doing Life is Good. He was like, well, the energy of the studio, I'm going through this divorce. So all the producers in the studio, they're all divorced. So I'm like, now Primo can't make the album because the nigga ain't divorced. Like, nigga, come on. Like, it just seems like there's just excuse after excuse after excuse why this Primo album can't happen. Yeah, you just made 3 albums back to back with him, and probably working on a 4th. Oh, they did do 4. I'm sorry, you had Magic mixed in with other King's diseases, and probably working on a 5th one. And you only bring Premier in to do the scratches. Like, keep it a buck. Why is it you don't want to do this album with Primo? So that would be my Nas question. Vern, what you got up next, bro?
All right, this one, I'm shout out to my National Honor Society inductee niece, Nay Nice.
Oh yeah. Salute. Making me proud. Yeah. Bro, do me a favor. See if it's your headphone, because you cracking up again.
You're on mute.
You're on mute. All
right. What about, is that any clear?
Nah, it's still cracking up. Like, what if you take the headset off and just... Oh, it's like you take it off and put you on mute. All right, now try.
How about now?
Try talking.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's still cracking up. Well, we'll go with it from here. Just try this.
All right. We talked about this on a previous episode of Apartment 5B. Slick Rick.
Slick.
Why did you allow a man, Dana, to basically straight up bite your British style? And like, that was cool.
Again, I'm thinking he's asking about the shooting. That's why I love the show. Every time I'm like, here comes the question. Every last one of y'all take it somewhere else. And I love it. Why did you let Dana Dane bite your style? I feel you. I really thought, Vern, I was like, he's gonna be like, why'd you let this man take you out of your character and shoot this nigga in the Bronx? And Vern like, nah, nigga, I'm not. Just why you let Dana Dane bite your style, nigga?
No, Nate want to know, man. You know,
yeah, Nate does want to know. She does want to know why it went down like that, bro. I would love. I don't know how no one has asked this question, and I've never seen it. Any Fab Five Freddy, Dr. Dre Ed Lover, no D Barnes, all the hip hop person, Chris Thomas, the mayor, freaking Joe Clear on Rap City, Big Tig in the Basement. I don't know any hip hop personality, Sway in the Morning, who has asked Slick Rick about Dana Dane, and that's just so crazy to me that this question has never been answered. I mean, asked.
They killed. They don't make him like Vanilla Ice did. His go ding 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 ding. My go ding 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 ding. You know.
Yo, but I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I would love to know from Slick like why that went down like that. I could only believe. I don't know what. I know my personality at that age. I would have been like, nigga, this shit whack. You know what I mean? Nigga, get your own style. But hey, they was in the Kango crew, and maybe that's just what they do. I want to know if the other people in the Kango crew had a fake UK accent too, or if Dana Dane is just the only one that ran with it. But that's a whole nother question. Babe, what you got up next for you, good brother?
Next, I got Jay Electronically. What was the real issue with your album delay, and why did you agree to do to have your first album feature Jay-Z on every track? Like, it's just the weirdest. Like, he spoke about it, but like, I think if he ever does something outside of Rock Nation, I think we'll get a real answer. But it's just the weirdest thing to have that kind of momentum, to have an album that's done, right, according to Just Blaze, and then have like 10 years go by. And then when you finally drop, Jay-Z's on every track. Like, it just didn't make sense. So I just would want to know, like, what's the real story? Like,
now you said he gave a political answer. Like, what was his answer?
Well, he was in a rut, you know. He was trying to create, and I think it's one of those things where all the attention, all of the hype affected him creatively. And so, you know, it's when you get writer's block like that, it's bad, you know, because it's almost like you don't even remember how to create anymore, because your thoughts are getting in the way of you just being free and writing what you want. And I think he, you know, the more time passed, the more that grew for him. And I think he was hesitant, and he actually was lucky, because you ain't sitting on no label for no damn 10 years without releasing an album. You get dropped. Right. And they keeping the album. You know what I mean? So I think Jay was doing him a favor, and probably doing him a favor with having the features. But I mean, all that stuff was put out during the pandemic, so they kind of dumped it on us.
Yeah, that's a dope question, bro, because I never really understood. I'm like, is it that you just don't have the love for it? You know what I mean? Do you not need the money? Because most of us, you need to drop an album because we need the money. You know, we need to go on tour. We need to sell some records. We need to sell some merch. So we gotta drop this album or whatever like that. Vay, tell me this. You and Rel, and Vern, I know you're a retired MC. What has been your... Have you gotten writer's block, and how'd you get out of it?
Yeah. But for me, reading, living life, go watch a movie, or like be in the studio around other people, just that energy, you know. I'll tell you a great way to get out of it for me at 25 years, no, over that, 35 years ago. Like being in a session with somebody else who's killing it. Like, all right, you better go get your weight up
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
For me back then, it was I would just go out and just live, like go out and just live and look for inspiration. Now, it's the inspiration comes from like I do a lot of good writing after I get off the podcast, like, you know, because we've been discussing hip hop and, you know, now, so when we get off, I'm a little more, it'll snap me out of any writer's block that I had. Like I would get off of here and then I got ideas on my mind just off stuff we talked about and stuff like that, and they kind of get the juices flowing. But back when I was younger, it was just going out and, like, if I'm in Philly, you know how it is in Philly. You go out on a bus, all types of shit happening. Like I just go out on the porch and chill or go down the street. You know what I'm saying? It's just living, and then you get the inspiration and get the juices flowing like that. But now it's a little different.
Right. And what about you, Vay?
I don't think I ever got writer's block as, like, when it came to writing rhymes. Maybe for like other things, but only because I always wrote similar to what Vern said, off of inspiration. So I was never sitting down to like, oh, I gotta do this thing. Like even when me and you worked on projects, and I feel like I got like 3 songs of the feeling off, right? As far as like what I wanted to do, and it's like, well, what's next? What I'm gonna do with this beat? I will purposely pause. You know what I mean? From I may have beats that I want to write to that you gave me, but I'll take a pause just so I could find that moment where it hits me and I put the beat on and I'm like, okay, I could pick back up. But it's more, for me, it's more like getting that energy out and then waiting for that moment to have that inspiration again, as opposed to feeling like, nah, I gotta write this, you know, where do I start? You know, I just won't even get to that point. I just try to do it based off the feeling.
Right. Pete, we may have to do a Twitter Spaces just on writer's block and creativity things and just you know, stuff like that, because I know everybody goes through it, like, and everybody has their different ways. Like I know Sean Bezo, when they would hear dope hip hop, no, when they would hear whack hip hop, they would feel like they need to make beats. Like, yo, hip hop is dying, these whack beats, I need to jump in and save the day. Whereas when I'm hearing whack beats, I'm like, oh, I'm good. My shit crazy. It's when I'll hear something that's crazy and I'm like, oh shit, I need to get on my job because this motherfucking Alchemist just, you know, took the fuck off. So we all have different things that inspire us to kind of give you that oomph. For a cat today got at me on Twitter and was like, yo, man, I love your beat videos, man. You know, I want to make beats, but I just haven't had that oomph. And I'm like, yo, you gotta find a way to kind of, you know, motivate yourself. And it's funny because what everybody is saying is, it makes me think now from a label perspective, being on a label, the pressure somebody does feel. Because what Vay just said is, I'm gonna take a break. The label ain't gonna let you take no break. Nigga, we need this album. You don't got no 2 months to just sit back and just wait for inspiration to spawn again, you know. So it makes me wonder, how many albums did we get that weren't as great as they could be because the label was on your ass to finish writing this joint? You know what I mean? So just something to think about. JR, what you got up next, bro?
I want to ask this to Janet. Why the hell did you work with Jermaine Dupri?
Crazy. Right here. I got this right here at the bottom. If you see Janet, why did you stop rocking with Jam and Lewis for Jermaine Dupri? So,
and had the nerve to call him Quincy Jones to you. I'm like, no. Don't you dare in your life ever say no shit like that again. But I want to know why.
I want to say something, but it's so highly inappropriate.
No, I know exactly what you were going to say. She getting the dick.
No, but I just can't believe Jermaine is throwing dick like that. Like, to make you forget about Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. So I just, but neither.
No, but Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis was also a part of that project too. So that's why I'm like, why'd you even add him? Let him go over there and do what he do. Y'all ain't musically great together. Hell no.
I feel you. I got nothing for that. I to this day, I'm with you. I don't know why you dated that nigga, why you let him produce you, where did that even come from? I'm just, I'm stuck on stupid. Bro, what you got up next, bro?
Mine is for Mr. Just Blaze. True Serum. Did you take Bink's style?
that was question number 2, Will.
That was question number 2. That was Vegas.
Philly blood.
No, that wasn't me. That was Vegas. Vegas.
That was Vegas.
That was Vegas.
Okay.
That was Vegas.
Will you admit you were at least influenced? Like, come on, like it's just clear as a fucking day. All right, like let's just cut the shit. Like you are a beat chameleon. You're a beat chameleon. Like I want the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want no politically correct. No, you are a beat chameleon. It's been known that you do that. And what made me think about it, I just seen Bink's interview with Mav Hoff, and I'm like, I'm glad somebody is giving him a chance to talk about this shit. Like, because not even hearing him talk, we all knew it. We all could tell.
The crazy part, Bink has talked about this for years. Bink and Just Blaze have even gone back and forth with each other. Like, bro, let it go. Like, you know what I mean? Type shit. Like, you know, and I think Rick Ross even tried to step in it, you know, because he's worked with both of them. You know what I mean? And Rick is kind of like, yo, man, just, you know, let it go. But it's hard to let go somebody who basically took your style. And essentially, my man Ilfam, shout out to Ilfam and Where's Buffy, he was like, I mean, just does it better than Bink. You know what I mean? And that can be up to debate, but I'm like, when it comes to integrity and hip hop, you stole that nigga style. Like, you know what I mean? So even if he does do it better, it's still not yours. You know what I mean? So, but you know, and again, that's just because I'll never forget when niggas was like, yo, just got a song with the T.I. What's that Live Your Life? Is that T.I. and Rihanna?
Yeah.
Even when I heard that, I'm like, this is Just Blaze? Like, what Just Blaze is this? Like, this don't sound nothing like. So he's a beat chameleon. Vague. Grell just gave the Bink Just Blaze. That was his question too. So I don't know. Prayerfully, Just Blaze will go on Mav Hoffa. I would love to know the answer to this. I would love to see it. I just think it's too late in the game for him to even admit it. You know what I mean? And here's the hard part. I like what Bing said. He said, okay, so what do you want him to admit it? And he said, then what? He's like, and then stop. Like, stop biting my shit. You know, just stop. That's it. You know, just admit it and then stop doing it, nigga. So, yeah, that's hilarious to me. Porsche, what you got for your last? Let's just run through whatever you got left.
I just have 2 more left. Okay. One is Method Man. And my question for Meth is, are you happy with the way Tikal turned out as an overall debut album? And if not, what would you have wanted to be done differently? So, and the reason I ask that is because I feel like Tikal is one of those albums that's like split hip-hop fans. Like, some people think it's dope. Everybody thinks it's dope, but there's some people who think it's a 5 mic classic, and then there's some people who are like, it's super dope, but it just missed the mark on the five mic, you know? So I
got that shit at a 3.5. I got that.
Or a 3.5 or whatever. Like, it's just not a classic. And some people swear up and down, nah, that Tikal album is a classic album.
You know what we gotta do with that, Porsche? I gotta do a survey. Because all the people who think it's a classic were 10, 11, 12 years old when it came out. And to me, the people who think it was a good album are people my age, you know, who understood the hype was the same hype as Doggy Style, the same hype, you know, maybe not the same hype as Illmatic. It was hype for it. Like, Meth was supposed to be the next one. In my opinion, we were supposed to be saying who's the best MC, Biggie, Meth, or Nas. Not Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas. Biggie, Meth, or Nas. And we weren't. Now, an 8-year-old, I don't know if an 8 or 9-year-old understood that hype. They heard Tikal, and they was like, yo, this shit is dope. You know what I mean? Versus what we always talk about, expectations. That will shape how you lean towards what you give a project. You know, a project I wasn't expecting shit from, I could give 5 mics, but if Vegas was expecting 5 mics from it and it was 3 mics for him, we're going to look at it totally different. So I would just love to take a survey of, I don't know anybody my age who thinks Takal is a 5 mic out. It's just people who are at least 10 years younger than me who think that it's a 5 mic out.
But I'd like to know what Method Man thinks about it. Like, does he...
Right. Yeah, I would love to know.
Yeah. And then my last one is kind of a fun one for DJ Premier. I just want to know, besides Guru, who is his favorite MC that he's worked with over the years? I just want to know. And the reason I would want to ask Premier that is because we know Premier's personality. He is so well loved. He is so politically correct. He is so inclusive and loves everybody, and everybody's dope. But I want him to, like, you know, we have to like say our top 5s, and you don't let us be Jodeci. So, you know, I want Premier to,
I don't let y'all be Jodeci, nigga. You're Jodeci every other week. You do whatever you want, Porsche. You say fuck my couch every week. Like, you're like, I don't have to be Jodeci. You are KC himself. You are KC. But I'm waiting for you to walk in on Bird's back one day, like how KC came to the show.
Eating the chicken wings.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to watch. I'm waiting for you to watch JR pass out on stage, and you keep going on with Apartment 5B.
No, but anyways, I would want DJ Premier to pick one, and Guru not included. So
that's great picks. Yeah, I think you're getting an offering plate this week. Question. Because this was a question on the timeline about Takal. Do you all think Method Man has what it takes to make a complete album? And what I mean by that is I think Meth has an incredible voice, flow, all the stuff he does, incredible 16s. But I was sitting here talking to somebody, and I'm like, I don't know if Meth could give me a warning. Has Meth ever given me a story song? Like, has he ever told a story? Like, could Meth give you an everyday struggle like Big, like, yo, going up to Staten Island is like, so I'm just now even looking back wondering, even if the beats were better, could Method Man give you is he a complete MC? Like, to even give you a 5 mic album?
Ooh, that's tough.
Vegas?
No.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that,
you ain't gotta give this nigga no truth serum. See, Vegas, everybody put on a hoodie and a do-rag, man. That's what the true hip-hop truth serum is. Like, if you put on a hoodie and a do-rag, nigga, you got to tell the truth. There's no way you can lie with a hoodie and a do-rag on. Like, it's impossible.
Right. Nah, I don't think so, because he's told stories before, but you can't tell because his inflections in his voice never change. He's kind of monotone with his style. Biggie had a different range of flows all within the same record. He conveyed emotion better than a variety of emotions better than Method Man does. Method Man kind of conveys a dude in a cipher that can spit, similar to Black Thought. They're always
that's what I
in
said.
the pocket like this. They never. There's never an inflection in his voice to tell you he's upset. Well, maybe upset, but he's sad, or he's remorseful, or he regrets this. He'll say the words, but I think there are rappers that convey that and how they say it, and that's the difference. So I don't think he could ever do it. He can make some dope shit, but he can do it word-wise, but performance, I don't think so.
All right, Vern, what are you gonna say?
This is not to make an excuse for him, but it's just a question to the panel. Do you think because of the dynamic of the group that he was in, that he's trained to just spitfire, cipher, how can I say? I mean, it's like he never was an only child, so he had to kind of grow up fighting for his food. So he never got the time to like introspectively tell the stories that you're talking about, or do the inflections and stuff, because everything was like, man, I got to get this verse off before Deck or Ray or whatever come in. Not to say that that's the cause, but I'm just wondering what y'all think about that.
I think he did, right? Because they were all solo artists before they grouped together, so there was plenty of time to develop that. But even as a recording artist, Ghost does that really well, right? He conveys emotion. He could be He could have a record where he's talking to a shorty and it feels like he's on the street talking to a shorty. He could talk about, you know, all I have is you, and you hear the pain in his voice as he's saying it. And he doesn't sound that different than what he usually sounds like, but it's something about his voice and how he's I don't know, the way he's projecting, where you can hear it a little bit more than Method Man, whereas with Method Man it always feels like it's this thing, it's just bars. And that's
well, here's another thing. All right, so Method Man, put it in basketball terms, that nigga is a bucket. He gonna score, but he never developed like that other, you know, lockdown defense, or you know, he can drive and dunk, but he never developed that consistent three ball or mid range. I'm just grasping at straws, just trying to figure it out, because he's a that
sounds right.
Yeah, I mean, I think Meth has it to be a star, to be a star, but I don't think he has it to be an all-around MC. It just made me start thinking about it. And this is why I said I salute my timeline this week, because they had me thinking, because I'm looking at like Tikal and Ready to Die, and like what Vegas saying, and Ready to Die, I'm going from Give Me the Loot, I gotta rob, and you hear Biggie and Give Me the Loot. It's like, nigga, I got to rob to eat. I'm robbing niggas for their #1 mom pin. Then I'm telling you everyday struggle. Then I'm Big Papa. Then I'm, you know, Warning. Then I'm Unbelievable. Like, I'm taking you on this journey. You know what I mean? And I don't know if Meth can do that, because Meth has had the opportunities to do that. It's not like Tikal was just his only album. Like, sometimes I feel like we talk about Meth and all we ever got was Tikal, and that was it. And it's like, man, what would have happened if we got more? I'm like, nigga, we got about 4 or 5 more albums out this nigga, and none of them are classics. None of the things that we're saying can he do that he's done. You know, he is essentially what I realized this week, like Veg said, he's a Black Thought type thing. You know, Meth right now, that verse on Conway's Limit was crazy. I was like, God damn, Meth sounds incredible for a verse. You know what I mean? Like, but again, can he convey that? I don't know if he can. When you're listening to Illmatic, it's like, I got New York State of Mind that's showing me New York. I'm hearing One Love. I'm seeing niggas writing. I'm visualizing all this stuff. I'm visualizing New York. I'm not getting any of that from Meth. And that's not a knock on Meth, but I'm just like, that's the thing, that maybe he just can't do that. He's fucking Staten Island's Black Thought. He's gonna bar you. If he freestyles on the radio, he's gonna kill it. I was just watching that Showtime thing, Mike's and Minigan, and he's spitting in the audience. And I'm like, yo, this nigga, he had the little stutter flow, and I was like, yo, this nigga Meth is a beast on the mic, you know, but not to make a full all-around body of work. That, because I think that's why I love Ready to Die, because it takes you on this journey. You know, like Big said with Ghostface, I go on a journey. It's like going to the movies. It's like you go to the movies to go on this journey. You know what I mean? And with Meth, he's not taking you on a journey per se. He's giving you bars, but then after a while, it's kind of just like, okay, but what's next? And then even being at 48 now, again, love Defonte, who can take you on that journey, who can talk to you about getting married, getting divorced, raising your kids, you know, Black men in their health. Like, even then he couldn't do that, and now he still can't. You know, and again, it's just, I'm not trying to say it's in a disrespectful way if this is what separates the men from the boys, but it's like, this is what separates a Fonte from a Meth, because I feel like Fonte can do Meth. If Fonte just wants to bar you, he's gonna bar you. He's gonna give you some bars, but then he can also give you so much more. That's what Meth can do. What were you gonna say, Ro?
So I had a whole nother idea about it, but what y'all was saying, especially what Veg was saying, like makes sense. But I don't know what y'all think about this. Like with Meth, like when the Method Man song came out on the first Wu album, it had like a lot of star power to it. You know what I'm saying? Like he had star power, and I think making Tikal, I think, because if you look at all of the solo Wu albums that are like classics, Cuban Links, Liquid Swords, those particular artists have their own like intricacies about them that shape that album. Like the Mafioso stuff with Raekwon kind of shaped that album. With the Jizz's album, is shaped real dark. It's shaped a certain way. With Meth, I feel like it was all over the place, and it left a lot of room for stuff to be whack, you know, or not good. You know what I'm saying? Like the direction, because of how he was just like, he was the star of the group off the break. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like that played a part in how that album and how his whole career has kind of been put together, where it leaves more room to have whack shit because of the direction. Like it's here. All when, like, the Ray is here. Like with Ghost, you know, all of them have their own like different little personalities and things that they into, but it's like they have a direction. Like to Cal and all of his albums are kind of just like no direction.
I think Meth needs a dope executive producer. Like somebody was asking me, why doesn't Jadakiss have 5 mic albums? I said, give me Jada for fucking 4 months. I'll give you a 5 mic album out of Jada. Because I'm gonna push Jada. I'm be like, nigga, you gonna rhyme about something. Nigga, talk about Yonkers. Make a song about why the fuck the Locks are still together. Nigga, you love fucking sneakers. We making a song about sneakers. Like, we are gonna sit here. You're not just gonna bar niggas to death, nigga. Like, the same way I would tell them, B, nigga, I'm gonna let you shoot some threes, but you gotta give me 20 and 5 first. And then you can come out here and shoot. Like, I'm gonna give you, we get 12 songs. I'm gonna give you 4 where you could just do, you could do you know, only one posse cut with the Locks. That's it. I'm gonna give you 1 song, you back and forth with Fab. The rest of that, nigga, we're telling some stories. Nigga, you too old in this game to just still be barred. I need some stories. Talk to me about Yonkers. Take me on a tour of Yonkers, nigga. We gonna do a song about this. We gonna make songs, not just have you spit. And I think that's the thing when we think about Illmatic. Those were songs. You know what I mean? It's just not now. It's just spitting. They're songs. When we think about Ready to Die, they're songs. They're things that we can come back to. During the whole Jay Buster thing, I said I love Jay because I can use his quotables in everyday life. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, give me a Buster quotable, and it was crickets. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can tell you a Buster bar I like, of course, the Dungeon Dragon, and of course, you know, Flavor in Your Ear, but can you just give me a bar? Like, and again, but that's just for me. I like quotables. I like being able to say, man, it's like Jay said, you know, a giant standing on a giant, midget's head can see much farther than a giant. I can't do that with Buster. I can't sit here and tell you one Buster line that just stood out to me, or one Meth line that just stood out for me. And that's the hard part. All right, Porsche, great topics. I love them all. Here the rest of mine real quick. I got RZA. I always thought he was on the ASR 10. Watching this Wu-Tang thing, he's on the SP 1200. I'm seeing real footage of him on the SP 1200. So I want to know, when did you move from the SP to the ASR 10, and why? And why didn't you use them together? Because for producers, people out there who don't know, most people, the SP only had 10 seconds in it. So most people use the SP 1200 and the S950 as a backup sampler. Bezo and Shy, my man, a kid called Roots, they use the SP 1200 and the ASR 10 as the backup sampler. But from what it seems like is RZA went from using the SP 1200 straight to the ASR 10. Didn't even use the SP anymore. I want to know why. Marley Marl, who produced these Juice Crew albums, my nigga? Like, did they all bring the records? Did you engineer it? You know, is that what happened? Who really produced these? This is kind of a question to the D'Angelos and the Maxwells and the Shardays and the Manchas of the world. Why does it take so long for y'all to make fucking music? And how do you live, and what do you live off of while you're waiting to make all this music? Sade, I get it. Sade could charge $800 per ticket and sell out a tour in 5 seconds. I get Sade. Yep. Monch, I'm not trying to be in my niggas' pockets, but I don't know if Monch has that same oomph to be able to go 6, 7, 8 years without making an album. Madlib, how did working with Dilla push you as a producer? Dilla, how did you feel when everybody was biting your style? And then how did you go about changing your style? Griselda, why did y'all break up? I really want to know this shit. You know, niggas was talking about West Side copyrighted Conway and Benny the Butcher's name, so they couldn't even use it themselves and all of this shit. Gangstar Foundation, why did y'all break up? I heard the rumors J. Rule and Primo broke up because it was like, nigga, we talking about these Biggie niggas, these rap mafioso niggas, but then you going to make records with them. You know, niggas told me that the group home was mad because they ain't got dope beats. You know, they was like, you ain't give us the Nas like and those type beats. Prince, what is your favorite produced album? Raekwon, why the fuck did you make Immobilarity? I can't even say the damn word. The Beat Miners. What happened with you and the BCC? Why did y'all stop making music together? And Eric Sermon, did you really get Parrish robbed? I want to know the story behind that. Vern, what do you got left, good brother?
Glenn Lewis, do you regret leaving Dre and Vidal?
Did he leave them? Did he leave them?
Did you regret why did y'all stop?
Why did they? Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Pete Rock, friend of the show. Be honest with us, man. Level with us. Did you understand what CL was talking about most of the time? Or did you just periodically say, tell him, hey, what? Ooh-wee. This your folks, man. Talk to us, man. All right. Barry Gordy. Why did you do the Funk Brothers like you did and just abandon them in Detroit? Just leave and go to LA when they were the driving force behind all that Motown stuff. Why would you do that? Why would you be that greedy? You got enough money, man. Why would you do that to them? And I think that's what I got. Oh, all right, one more. What's his name? JR. He was in Boys to Men, but he left before they started.
Mark Dorsey.
Mark Nelson.
Mark. Hey, bro.
How you feeling?
They the most sold albums in all the R&B male group. Woo! You couldn't have held out a little bit longer, but did you regret that? All right, that's all I got.
Damn, man, that's a good one, man. It's a good one. Makes people say you should never leave a group, man. I don't care sometimes how bad the contract is. Maybe unless you Ice Cube, I feel like ain't nobody but Ice Cube ever leave the group and do it the right way. Everybody else is like salty, but that comes back to knowing your worth, good people. You got to know your worth and what you really bring to the group. Vay, what you have up left?
I have Game. Why not retire for real?
Please. Please.
I mean, I like Game, but I don't like these kinds of games of, that last album wasn't bad, right? It was just too long. But he seemed to want to campaign other dumb shit around it, which kind of cheapened the album. Trying to get in a battle with Eminem. Who cares, man? Make some dope shit that catches our attention. So, Foxy Brown, I want to know why she stopped rapping, because if she was capable of doing that verse on, I know she went deaf, but she did do a verse on King's Disease.
But she didn't get the memo what the song was about, because I felt like that Foxy verse.
But she still had the capability to rhyme. Yeah. So I'm wondering, well, why stop? At this point in time. Jay-Z, did you really think you were better than Big?
Ooh. That part. That part.
Don't even answer. From the you already know the answer. We from Brooklyn.
That's right.
MC Light, do you like the state of female rappers being categorized as stripper rappers based off of the content? I didn't necessarily disagree with Jermaine Dupri, because he made a great point. He wanted to get back to the hip hop. I also agree with Cardi B, right? Every time we rap about something else, y'all don't pay attention to it. So we start rapping about this and y'all buy it up. So not that she's nice enough to get anybody's attention. Right. I heard the other music. She cool. But I would want to know from someone like an MC Light, because remember back when Foxy and Kim were out, they were getting some flack for the sexual stuff, but they still had bars. Mm-hmm. Now it's worse. It's way worse now. It's only sexual content. And I would just wonder what female MCs like MC Light think about it. Not that she would tell the truth, but just wonder.
No, she has to.
Yeah, she has to tell the truth. That's the whole point. She got to tell the truth.
Oh, she has to tell the truth.
Yeah, that's the premise of the show is you got to tell the truth. Like, these are the questions that they gotta tell you the honest to God truth. There ain't no lying. Like, you gotta keep it apart.
Oh,
So
okay.
she could be like, no, these hoes is trash. All of them are trash. I hate them.
Probably what she thinks. And lastly, I got Nas. Why have you been so unsuccessful when it comes to blooming and promoting your own artists? He sort of has a history of having artists who either don't perform well and just fall off after an album or an attempt, or in the case of Dave East, had to move to another situation.
Oh, he's not on Mass Appeal anymore?
Yeah, he has Mass. Who? Dave East?
No, it's Dave East. I thought you said Dave East had to move on to another situation.
Yeah, Dave East was on Mass Appeal originally. Then he moved to Def Jam.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that's a dope question, because I thought Dave East was gonna be dope, and he had Fashawn. And Fashawn is nasty. You know what I'm saying? So they both was on Mass Appeal. So that's definitely a dope question. With that, Jared, what you got left, bro?
I just got 3. Smokey, I would want to ask him, how did it feel to get Smokey Robinson? I would want him to know how he felt getting the Temptations taken away from him.
You know, somebody's gonna be like, Smokey the Bear? Who's
right?
Smokey?
Right. Well, Smokey is the interviews he giving and the album he doing. But
yeah, I know you ain't filming his interviews with Vlad.
Yeah, man, he wilding out, bro.
He wilding, like, for real.
Well, the nigga 80 years old. He probably not.
It's his team. It ain't him. But I would want to know how did he feel with getting the Temptations taken away from him, from Norman Whitfield?
What do you mean they were taken away from him?
He was their main producer, and then after Norman Whitfield got the bigger hit with "Ain't Too Proud to Beg," he became theirs.
Okay.
So how would he feel? Like, how did he feel? Like, I made y'all. Y'all would like the no hit Temptations.
The name of the song is "Ain't Too Proud," right? Not too big, but
Ain't Too Proud to Beg.
CT was. She kept saying that you keep calling it the TLC song, and it's "Ain't Too Proud."
No, it ain't Too Proud to Beg.
All right, cool. Thank you. I just gotta have a conversation with my wife later, because thank you, JR.
Okay.
Because I kept saying "Ain't Too Proud to Beg," and she was like, "Nigga, that's TLC. That's not the Temptations." So thank you, JR.
It's the Tips, yeah. Another one. I would ask this for me and my grandfather actually. For Sam Cooke, we would want to ask him, which live album did you enjoy making the most? Live at the Copa or live at the Harlem Square Club?
Which one were you guys at?
Both.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
And the last one, if I could ask Jackie Wilson, do you wish you would have left Brunswick Records and went to Motown with Barry Gordy? Yes.
You'd have to just give me a little background on Jackie. And is like, how do we piece this together? Was Brunswick
because
not
okay? Barry Gordy wrote the first 3 hits for Jackie Wilson, but he wasn't signed. He was there with Brunswick Records then, right? So then Barry wasn't getting paid with Brunswick, so he dipped and got the $800 from his family and created Motown. You see what happened? What happened to Jackie? Jackie's career went down, but his writer left. But he tried to go over there, but he couldn't leave, and contract shit. And that's why if you listen to what's the song? Keep On Lifting Me Higher. That's the Funk Brothers playing on it.
Okay. And Jackie Wilson is Lonely Teardrops, right?
Yes, and that's what Barry Gordy wrote. And it was like
Barry right, repeat, Petite or whatever. Wasn't that one of the songs?
To Be Loved. And Lonely Teardrops. He wrote that, but he didn't get paid for it. So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own label. And I wonder if Jackie would have been like, I should have just did with him. So those are the 3 that I
gotta do my history on Jackie Wilson. To Be Loved. It's a shame. I know that song from Coming to America. So neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Rel, what you got left, good brother?
Well, I had one that Vague said about Nas and artists like Nature, Quan, Davies, Bravehearts. You know, why is this like a kind of a history of it not working out? You know what I'm saying? I had Pac, getting involved in all that gang stuff. What were you thinking attacking Orlando Anderson, who's a known killer? Like where you thought that was going? Like what you thought was going to happen? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like were you just caught up in the just all of the gang and the hype and all that, or you just ain't give a fuck? Because that decision was really part of his demise. Cool G Rap, when we mentioned the KRS-Ones, the LLs, the Rakims, the Kanes, sometimes he gets overlooked. I want to know how he feels about that. Does he feel underappreciated, being as he's as influential as some of those people that I named? So does he feel slighted? And, you know, Common, Electric Circuits, and all that. Like, what was it? Like, break it down for me. Like, break it down, like, what you was, like.
I got some words. Erykah Badu.
All right, so if that's it, I need to explain it. Like, just close your ears, portion. Like, is the pussy, like, is it like.
He didn't smash. They were abstinent. He didn't hear it.
No.
I really need to hear it. I just need to, like, I need to hear it.
That's for me. That's the running joke. Andre hit and had a kid and got better. You ain't hit. You got worse, nigga. Like,
I got some of that because all the dudes that she fucking rap, right? Jay Electronica, DOC. So anyway, I'm just saying. Low,
because you would think that would be it, right? You would think.
Yeah.
No.
Man, yeah, crazy. No. You laid in the bed. Hold on. You laid in the bed with that. Never mind. I ain't even get that.
They may not even be in the same bed, bro. They may be in different universes. So who knows? Hey.
Anyway, that's crazy. Young Chris, Philly, do you have any resentment towards Jay-Z kind of taking your cadence and style and just running with it?
That ain't even a kinda. That nigga took it.
Is.
Yeah. like, do you, like, I know what you say in the public, but how do you really feel? Like, how do you really feel about that? You know what I'm saying? And my last one is for Big, Kushacha, Long Kiss Goodnight. I know, I just want to hear him say it like, yo, those were coming at, you know, Pop. Like, those were songs dissing Pop. But the timing of Kushacha was kind of crazy, so I would like them to expound on that, like what he was thinking about when he wrote that. And like, cause like Long Kiss Goodnight, he doesn't mention his name, but it's like a very well put together song that's like a diss. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This only Big can make some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to know his thought process in making those two songs, and that's it.
All right, no doubt. Dope Show as always. Veg, where can they get at you? What are you cooking up in the podcast world, good brother? Veg. I think he's frozen. JR, Young is in charge. Where can they get you, good brother?
The R&B Reps, R&B Representatives on Instagram, R&B Reps on Twitter. The show will be out. So our episode that's out now is Catch That Mini. We're talking about a Zoe record and a We Are King record. So that's going to be dope. So check it out.
All right, no doubt. Veg, you back?
Yeah, I'm in.
All right, where can they get at you, good brother? What's going on with the new podcast?
All right, well, you could follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at VaporWorldINC. And you could check out my weekly podcast, Hip Hop Now Podcast, available on all platforms. And stay tuned for interview style podcast, not hip hop. Even though there may be moments where hip hop is featured, but a podcast called My Little Podcast, where I'll be interviewing creatives, talking about their lives, their inspirations behind what they create. And yeah, it's going to be pretty dope. It's going to be me not being as lazy with the production like I've typically been. This will be full-on experience forward into this podcast. So.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. Rel, where they could get at you, man? What's up with the new single? When's the album coming?
Yeah, Uptown Rel 215 on the gram, JBen 215 on Twitter. My single is out. It's called Fear, produced by Kill. It's on all streaming platforms, and it's on my Bandcamp, JARELL215.bandcamp.com. Album be coming out in April. But yeah, so I just want y'all live with that single. You know what I'm saying? I think when I started rhyming again, like, it took a little while for me to like shake the rust off. But I think that song is like, you know, the best one I've done so far. So we put it out as the first single, and it's talking about some real stuff. You know what I mean? So just give it a listen.
All right, Burn, the closer. Where can they get at you, good brother?
Visa Loan Close on Instagram, VChandler10 on Twitter.
All right. Porsche, where can they get at you when they're writing their papers and they need a word and they can't figure out if they're happy or upset?
Sorry. Oh man, on Twitter at Shayla Porsche.
All right, and y'all already know what it is with me, Kill889, Twitter, IG. Yo, come through my timeline, man. Maybe we can have some dope combos, man. I really enjoyed this week, and I seldomly ever say anything like that. But like I said, they were actually some good discussions. Everybody was respectful and everything like that. It's funny because I didn't mind the conversation going on 2 and 3 days because people were bringing new things to the table. So it wasn't rehashing the same question over and over and over again. So yeah, get at me. I will check y'all out next week, good peoples.
Yeah.